POV, you are a trash bin. You have been caught. Stell has found you. You will be rummaged. Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Ormer. This is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail, and we're going back to Xian's show today to do a Trailblaze continuous mission. And continuous mission? Yeah, that I actually didn't expect until I saw it being told to me and see. Now, I have a list. I have a list of quests in order that you can do, which I love it, by the way. It's a great quest order. I don't have to do everything on the list, of course. It's just one of those things that really helps out quite a bit in avoiding spoilers. And, of course, that's the next quest that comes up as well. I'm very excited to actually check out this quest because I love the Xian show. I love it a lot, and especially all the stuff that was happening recently. You intercell a message, please check it promptly. And we took a bit of a break from Honkai last week, and it wasn't because I was burnt out or anything like that. It was because it's kind of like burnout prevention, where it's one of those things where it's like not even burnout prevention, where it's like, hey, something big just happened. I think it would just be like, let's take a little bit of time and just like wait a bit. It was kind of like, when we finished Fontaine and Genshin, and then we went, okay, the next episode we're gonna do is like a very casual episode. It's like, I think we did like a very, very small thing. But this time around, since I also upload Genshin at the same time too, I was like, let's just take a little bit of break. Let's come back next week. I'll be so refreshed as well, because it was a big, big episode, honestly, and a big time in penacony too.
What's that, Pom-Pom?
Just got a message from the Xian show Luofu. Looks like it'll conflict with our original schedule.
Oh my god, the trio gonna go together? Oh my god, the general!
It's been a while, my friends on the Astral Express. How's your trailblazing expedition going?
So much better now.
Soon, the Xianzhou Luofu will be holding the Luminary War Dance.
Oh?
Those who have aided the Luofu in overcoming the crisis are cherished allies of the Xianzhou.
Love it, love it.
Thus, on behalf of the Seat of Divine Foresight, I'm extending an invitation to attend the ceremony. Your presence would be greatly
I love it. Oh my god, that sounds so nice. Especially something very cultural. The smile on her face as well, Cell's
Things
face.
are getting lively. We've barely recovered from the family's Charmony Festival, and we're already being invited to another special
We're so
event.
popular, Himiko. We're so popular. Trailblazing is all about having fun. I'm still recovering from the last trauma caused by the last festivity. Honestly, it was a lot.
Yeah, me too.
It was a whole hell of a lot for these characters.
But wait, won't it look unprofessional if we attend 2 ceremonies in a row? Aren't we
Oh.
supposed to be focused on restoring astral charts and doing some serious science?
I think Mark's actually being very smart here in a way, but I'm sure we can go to the second one too. But I think she's trying, very rightly saying at some point it's gonna look really bad if we just keep going to parties all the time. But technically, we went to 2 festivals where we saved people 10 times over. You know what I mean?
So we
Or
should
one
leave
festival.
March behind to take care of the express.
Oh my god, Dan Hong.
Hey!
He knows what he's
that's
doing.
Not what I meant. I'm all for some fun. I just hope there won't be any surprise party crashers, like Friday or Saturday.
Wait, is she playing on the name Sunday?
The Xianzhou Luofu has recently overcome a crisis. By holding the war dance, they're demonstrating to everyone
Yes.
that they've returned to a state of peace and safety.
This is actually, again, Honkai does such a good job of relating things to real life. One of the big things that happens in the real world as well is that it doesn't matter if businesses do this. And so, I'm not saying it's always a good thing, but towns do this, businesses do this. All these people do this after a crisis. What it basically is hey, everything's cool. Don't worry about it. Everything's great. And you all have a bit of a party because it's something that people are used to, something that makes people feel good. It's and the office equivalent of it, when people are in a business, is usually and it doesn't usually work. It's usually when there's a lot of I don't know, downsizing or stuff like that as well. They're well, how about we have a little, casual Friday type thing. You know what I mean? It never works, obviously, but you know what I mean? In their mind, it does work. But yeah, this makes sense. This happens in real life. It happened in Genshin as well a bunch of times too. It is a way of making people feel like everything's turned to return to normal, right?
But that's what everyone said before we went to penacony. You'll be totally safe under the family's protection.
March isn't wrong, right? She's not wrong to say this stuff. And it's actually really cool that they have her accurately explaining how someone would feel in this situation. You know what I mean?
No need to worry. The war dance is not like the Charmony Festival with all its hidden secrets. It's just a festival to honor the Rainbow Arbiter and the Cloud Knights, who fought against the abominations of abundance and protected the Xianzhou ship.
And this is what's so crazy as well about Honkai 2. Sorry for like getting sidetracked twice, but like, I'm not sorry. We're gonna talk about as much as I want. But like the Rainbow Arbiter, like I have a big problem with. I do not like the Rainbow Arbiter a lot at all. But then again, people can say, "Well, Cam, you don't like it. You only like a Drilla." Yeah. But like, the thing is like with this as well is that like. This is what it is like sometimes. Like this happens in the real world too, where it's like a whole country's like we're celebrating, the great general Marcus Donvi, and then it's like, and then other countries like, yeah, but like Marcus Donvi like is a freaking horrible person who killed people, and it's like that's what happens, and it's so interesting and so weird, and like how accurate they get this to like real life as well. How you're not always going to agree with like who they're celebrating, but sometimes they do celebrate like stuff that like is not perfect in your eyes. You know what I mean?
Aside from star skiff performances, it's mostly martial contests.
Okay.
Nothing too different from the Taiki and Roboball contest we've seen before.
What do you think, Himiko? Since we've accepted Miss Black Swan's proposal, we should probably head to Amphorius for refueling.
I think we should go to the Zanshou. I'm very excited to go back to Zanshou and see some characters there if we can.
There's certainly no rush. This trailblazing expedition is quite unique, and the Express needs to be fully stocked and prepared before moving on to the next
100%, 100%. This is totally road trip, by the way, when like, one parent is like, you know what, we should totally like, keep going on the map. Like we can't stop for anything. Honey, you know what? We're never going to get anywhere if we don't, just restock for refreshments. You know what I mean? You're just going to be tired on the road if we go too far.
With Madame Herta's help, I was planning to deliver some Leviathan fossils from Kalinga Abyss to Ron May, member 81 of the Genius Society.
Huh?
It could earn us some favors before we set off. However, it may take a few weeks.
Aw, so that means we're not going to the Luofu.
Are we not?
Being an adult means maintaining relationships, whether we like it or not, Marge. Since we've been invited, it's only right for the Astral Express to attend the ceremony.
I love Himiko saying this because whilst like, as characters, like we don't talk about this like stuff all the time, but Himiko is the essence of like, I'm friends with a lot of like less than reputable people, quote unquote friends. She's not like buddy with them. Because I'm not saying these Zanshou are less than reputable, but I'm saying like, same way she's like friends with some people in the IPC. She is all about maintaining relationships because it will come back to bite her in the end if the Astro Express has like too many enemies. You know what I mean? The Astro Express being kind of like this neutral party as much as possible until they have to not be, you know what I mean? Until they have to step in and fight someone is something that like Himiko maintains quite a bit,
So here's the plan. Pom Pom will take everyone to the Xianzhou Luofu. Mr. Yang and I will meet up with Ron May and fulfill our promise.
Wait.
Meanwhile, you, March, and Don Hung will represent the Express and attend the war.
Oh my god, the trio!
What do you two think?
Sounds great. Let's split into groups. I want to know. I love it. And again, it's not that I don't want to be with Himiko and Welt. I think you guys know my feelings on the trio. That's an amazing combination.
I don't hear any
100%. That's an amazing combination. I'm so happy for that.
Now that everyone's on board with the plan, it's time to work to the Xianzhou Luofu.
Actually, we can talk. Yeah, let's talk to everyone as well. I love that. I absolutely love that, guys. That's awesome that we're going with the trio as well. But yeah, like it's so cool, like that we're getting to celebrate this at all. You know what I mean? That we're getting to like an invitation to this, and it makes sense, like because Genuine loves us now.
Himiko really knows how to convince people. Between Leviathan fossils and the war dance, the latter definitely sounds more fun.
What was that thing that I never seen? Someone walks by us and goes, "I've never seen three pretty best friends in one." Ooh, and sees all the trio together. I guess I have seen three pretty best friends. Yeah.
By the way, Don Hung, this time you'll be taking a stroll with us on the Luofu, right?
Yes.
And just let you two wander around aimlessly.
Oh my
and
God.
by yourselves? I don't think
Thank
so.
the Lord. Thank the Lord. The trio is back.
Plus, Mr. Yang is right. The Ambrosial Arbor crisis just ended. and both the long life and short life species are still feeling
Makes sense.
uneasy. And that's why Jing Yuan wants to organize the war dance to show that the Xianzhou Luofu is stable
Yes.
and safe.
Yes. It makes perfect sense. It does. It just makes so much sense. And it'll put people's mind at ease as well if there is a fun time where everyone has a good time together. You know what I mean?
And since he has extended an invitation, it's only right that I visit my old friend.
Oh my god, Dan Hong. We're going on a trip with Dan Hong. Life is good. Wait. Oh, is that to advance the quest forward? Oh, I thought that was just one of the optional things. It's okay, it's okay.
This place brings back so many memories.
It's okay. We missed the
Yeah?
obviously conversation with Weldon Himiko. I wasn't thinking straight. I just saw the trio and wanted to talk to them. That's my bad, guys. Apologies. But yeah. So here's something for all of you. A poem by March 7th. What memories carry? Wait, what?
Hey, I'm not actually gonna recite a poem.
You should.
I was just thinking about all the twists and turns we went through when we first arrived on the Xianzhou.
Yeah. And just like before, I'm proving everyone wrong about my Dan Hong stuff. People say I talk about Dan Hong so much. I'm not going to talk about how amazing his side profile is right now. I'm not going to talk about how it's actually like perfect and the hair hangs down perfectly. You can see a little bit of his pretty eyes, you know what I mean? And he has a great earpiece as well there as well. And his posture's so good. I'm not going to talk about it. Not going to talk about it whatsoever. Dan Hong, you pretty.
This time, we're not being forced or enticed.
Yes.
We're chasing after wanted criminals.
For now.
And we didn't have to sneak in through the cargo
Yes.
dock. This trip has been incredibly
It's nice to
smooth.
come here together as like visitors, yes.
Quite unusual, I must say.
I love that Marge is always worried about that too. We're so easy pleased, I actually feel sorry for us.
Such is the fate of us
It's
famous,
true, though.
I suppose.
Just not getting captured is good enough for us. Yanqing! This is one of my other sons as well. Stell, I saw the Skyfaring Commission notice that the Express is docked in the Xianzhou. Are you guys on the Luofu already? Just got to Starskip Haven. It feels good to say Starskip Haven again. The General sent me to welcome you all to Starskip Haven. See you in a bit. Are you serious? Yanqing's coming down? Lovely stuff.
Is the Starskip Haven always this crowded?
Oh,
There's so many people here. I can barely hear anything.
that's cool though, right? That's cool. That shows like there's a bit of bustling going on.
Yuan sent him to welcome us. But where is he?
Where's Yanqing? Is he over?
Let's wait for him in front of the loom. It's the most prominent landmark on the dock.
Sure thing. This is what, you know, they did this with Balebog as well, I feel like, too, right? We're going back to Balebog sometimes, too. And they will do with Penacony, I'm assuming, as well, also. What I do love so much about that is, like, that feeling of coming back to a place that you've been before and you get to visit all your friends again. I love when Genshin do it, too, when you get to go back to, like, festivals and stuff like that, also. It's, like, really, really fun and, like, different, like, events. It really feels like, you know, visiting old friends again, which is what we're doing here. Very, very happy to do this.
Hey, you guys, hold on a moment.
What's with Pesci?
Did they just call us? Look at their
Oh,
outfits.
yeah.
They're from Penacony.
Full on
right?
Pecorino.
Are you familiar with the Xianzhou Luofu?
Somewhat.
We know a little bit about it. What do you need?
We are from Penacony. Maybe you've heard of it. We came to this ship to gather interesting materials for making dream bubbles.
I've definitely heard of Penacony.
Oh, we just left there. Oh, talk about coincidence.
So I'm guessing, like, canonically, like, it's only been like a very short time, right?
That's great. Do you know any must-see attractions on the Luofu?
You've come to the right people.
Exactly. We're Xianzhou experts.
I just know the place is Yanzhou is very pretty.
Most of the tourists around at the moment are here to attend the war dance. And that's why we're here too.
Yeah, we know about that ceremony. But isn't the fighting ring still closed?
Oh, is it?
I've heard the
Look
ring
at that!
was actually converted from a huge decommissioned Luofu fighter jet.
That sounds pretty freaking sick. That's awesome. So it's even larger than the regular Starskip? Excuse me.
No doubt about it. It's a massive fighter jet. It's got to be larger than a civilian Starskip.
When I was saying look at that, by the way, the sky is absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. It really is.
But for now, all we can do is wait until the war dance starts in a few weeks before we can board it. We've still got work to do, so we can't just sit around waiting for it to start. That's why we're asking you about some must-see attractions.
We're looking for unique experiences that you won't find on Penacony. Our clients love these kinds of dream bubbles the most.
Right, so they are looking to make dream bubbles for us too, which I guess makes sense. Like, it is like, you know, it's a beautiful place, and I feel like Xian Show, like, without violence here, not anything bad happening, and no one chasing you and stuff like this too. Like, I could imagine sitting here under like the sky and like having like a drink of tea or something and just relaxing so much here. It is a beautiful place.
You're the expert here. Give them some suggestions.
Why not visit Oromali is beautiful. Vixenstroll Garden is absolutely stunning. The Scale Toward Waterscape, yeah, true. Why not climb the top of the Emerald Arbor? I think Oromali. Let's try business that place. I love Oromali. Vixenstroll Garden is great too, but like I wouldn't say that, like, you know, it's not for everyone. But Oromali is a people pleaser to me.
Good idea.
Yeah.
The everyday vibe of the Aurum Alley is a rare find.
100%. And now that the business is fully up and running, like sending tourists there, perfect thing to do.
Everyday vibe. Yeah, our clients have had their fair share of adrenaline-pumping dreamscapes. Maybe something down to earth would touch their hearts.
Yeah, and it has such a great vibe. It's very communal, like a lot of food. Like, I would love it.
Thanks for the suggestion. We'll head to the Aurum Alley to gather materials. Maybe we'll run into each other there in a couple of days.
Look, Yanqing's here.
Oh my god, you beautiful man.
Wow, really? Let's go catch up with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about here, by the way. Like, this sky here is stunning. It's like, I remember when I looked up for the first time, I think like it probably is in the video. I remember like, I was just like, holy crap. But yeah, I love that, just giving some suggestions to these guys. Now, I don't think it's going to be probably like, it might come back up again, right? Because if you really think about it, like, you know, I don't think they just have us like give recommendations to tourists, unless they were kind of like, you know, trying to see if we remembered it somehow, like the stuff that was happening here. But yeah, it is very bustling, right? It is very bustling. I love the Xian Show, though. I really do. And I love the quest on the Xian Show as well.
Here you are. Everyone, this way.
And I actually think the Xian Show is like a really clean story, if that makes sense. Like, everything like feels like very like, you know, beat after beat in place. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. I just feel like, you know, it's really fun and easy to follow as well. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways. And then, you know, you have like penacony that has like, you know, it's lore and its story. Sometimes you're like, you know, you have to kind of like squint your brain to understand a lot of it. But that's not a bad thing either, because then you get like, it's like both very fun. Like, there's lore to both of them, but I feel like I always found the Xian Show easier to understand, I think, on the surface. But once you do understand penacony, it's obviously still incredible as well.
Hey everyone.
That's our baby.
It's been a while.
Well, it's Jinyuen's baby. So good to see him. Did I press the wrong button? Oh, no, I didn't.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long since we last saw you. But Yanqing, are you?
Are you what?
What's up, Miss March?
They say
Wait.
kids grow up really fast. Yanqing, are you a little bit
Did he get taller?
before?
No way.
We've only been away for a few months.
I mean, it could happen. Cautiously pinch Yanqing's cheek. Okay.
What are you doing?
Oh, he's blow. I'm sorry, Yanqing. But you see the way Stella did that, though? She had this realization. She was like...
Sorry, but after our previous adventures, I've become suspicious.
Wait, I
of
thought you
whoever
was doing it because
brings us
he's
first.
adorable.
Do you have to be suspicious?
No,
around
I was doing
me
it because you were
too?
adorable. And I love that March like reached out her hand as well to stop us too. That's really funny.
You know, the last time we came to the Xianzhou, the first person who greeted us was...
Oh yeah. Not a... like, it turned out pretty, pretty crazy in the end.
I get it. Better safe than sorry.
Yep. That whole stuff with, like, that led us on a one-way collision to, Fantilia.
Seriously, I've never seen the Luofu so lively before.
I was a bit worried that holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis might be too soon. But seeing the bustling Starskiff Haven, I understand why General Jingyuan chose this
Heck yeah.
timing.
Yep. There's people from other delves and travelers like you three who have come from afar. With the war dance coming up, there's a huge number of visitors pouring into the Starskiff Haven. The Cloud Knights are working hard to keep the security tight.
As you'd imagine as well. It's very cool seeing it so lively. It is.
The general said this ceremony would help the Xianzhou Luofu recover from the crisis. It's a way to showcase our martial spirit, reassure people, boost morale, and attract visitors from other planets to promote trade and peace. By the way, the Xianzhou Alliance places great importance on this ceremony too. The Xianzhou ships, the Zhuming and the Yanqing, have both sent messengers to offer their blessings.
Have we heard these phrases before?
Yeah. The Xianzhou Yanqing is a major force in hunting down abominations, and is always engaged in conflicts across the cosmos. Although it's a member of the Xianzhou Alliance, I don't know much about it.
So it's one of the different ships?
But Madame Yukong from the Skyfaring Commission mentioned that the Yanqing always sends back reports of great victories, which is quite impressive.
It's awesome to hear.
I heard General Fei Xiao of the Yanqing is a young and dauntless lady. My peers say that she's like a goddess of war, capable of crushing dozens of abominations with a single punch. I wonder if it's true.
So Fei Xiao, and like they say she's a goddess of war, which like is pretty like a pretty big compliment, I suppose.
If only I could witness her prowess with my own
It's
eyes.
more than a big compliment. You're talking about like if you're saying someone's like really good at like warfare, they're if you're saying someone's a goddess, that means they're a master of everything that is to do with warfare.
By the way, Yanqing, where are we headed next?
I'm sorry for talking.
No
her
worries,
ear
please
off.
talk her ear off, please.
General wants to catch up with you at the Palace of Astrum. He's been eager to hear about how the Express has been doing.
It's funny how he tries to act all mature, but whenever it comes to something he's interested in, you can really see his childish side.
That's okay. Well, you're pretty much the same in that regard. Yeah, he's adorable.
I agree.
There's a roar? For what?
All units assemble.
Wait, it's an actual thing?
Ready to protect the crowd.
You just mentioned security, and now all of a sudden something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I need to go check out the situation.
It's like whatever you fear will happen, you're just as jinxed as March. Oh my god. I mean, I wouldn't say it that way, but...
We'll go with
Sure.
you.
Wait, what? A full-on cutscene to start off with? Wait, what the hell? What are these guys?
Protect the civilians.
Oh my god, Yanqing. Wait, we're going... What a way to start off this as well. It's so crazy. Enemies are marked that enter the Moon Rage state. After enemy uses attack, apply 1 stack of Bloodlust to an enemy. Units can trigger Moon Rage. When Bloodlust reaches a certain number of stacks, the unit enters the Moon Rage state. At the same time, a Moon Rage countdown appears in the action order. When the countdown's turn begins, Moon's Rage is dispelled across all enemy units. So enemies with the mark of the Moon Rage state can enter the Moon Rage state. After enemies use an attack, apply 1 stack of Bloodlust to an enemy that triggers the Moon Rage. Okay. When the Bloodlust reaches a certain number of stacks, the unit enters the Moon Rage state. At the same time, Moon Rage countdown appears in the action order. When the countdown's turn begins, Moon Rage is dispelled across all enemy units. Let's just go.
Borisin? Why are there Borisin here?
Borisin.
This ends now.
A very interesting looking group of enemies as well, honestly. Like, very interesting.
Stand still.
Should we start off with this then as well?
Applause. Let's see
Like, it's cool to see new enemies, but I wasn't expecting just a cutscene like that, like, right away. I wasn't expecting it at all.
More business, eh? Relax.
Do we... Now we could do the... Well, no, let's do this first. Let's do this first.
Don't get cocky.
Stand still.
Yeah, it's fine. We don't... like, yeah, it's gonna go grand. Oh, cutscene? Oh my god, Yanqing. Throwing the blades at these creatures. Wait, what? Who's this? What? What? Just landing on the hilt of a sword. Who the hell is this? It's a nice sword, isn't it?
Thanks for the help.
Thanks for the help.
Sorry, no time to chat.
No time to what? What? What just happened? Who is that? She brutalized him as well so quickly with a smile on her face too, and then she took the weapon as well? What in the world is actually happening? I have no earthly idea. What?
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we'll have to put our plans on hold for
Sure.
now. I need to find out what's going
Please,
on.
100%. Like, who was that? Because at first I thought it was like, was that the war goddess he was talking about? But no, like, you know, she came in, like, did something like really, like, you know, very action heavy, took his sword and left. What is happening? Okay, fair enough. A couple of Yanqing to ask about this situation. Okay, 100%.
Wow, we appreciate your
An IPC worker.
Joe friends. Don't you think it's a bit too much to detain us and our cargo?
Sorry, but we've been ordered to detain you and your cargo for inspection until we figure out the source.
IPC guys, that's so fair. Come on.
Once we're done with the formalities, we'll let you and
Yeah,
your cargo.
that's so fair. Like, again, I know, like, it's like one of those things where, like, it's like, oh yeah, it's our cargo, but like, I think everyone even watching this would understand. It's like, yeah, you have to like adhere to that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even bad. To me, it's not even bad.
But this shipment isn't even meant for the Luofu, and it's IPC's patented technology. Who do you think you are to conduct an inspection?
You're on a different planet, region, whatever, a ship. An attack just happened. They're checking out all outsiders they can. As we know from the Xian show, like, we can criticize them in a lot of ways too, but like, they lock down their whole place for everybody. You know what I mean? They do for everybody all the time. You know what I mean? You could be an old lady. You know what I mean? They're taking your cargo. You know.
According to the protocol, all cargo arriving on the Luofu must go.
I don't think this is unfair. I don't think it's unfair.
But we didn't officially enter
come
your
on.
dock at all. We just sought refuge in your dock because we were attacked by the
And yes,
Borisin.
100% that makes sense, and you did the right thing. You know, you don't, you know, you instead of getting ripped apart by a creature, you came here. Perfect sense, right? But that, I think it's totally fair as well for the Xian show to be like, hey, we're checking everybody. I think it's fair. I don't think it's bad. I know people might say, well, like, Calvin, like, no one has just the right to search yourself. I know 100%. In real life, by the way, you know your rights, please, always. But I mean, in this sense, there was just an attack. You're a company. It's not like you're an individual with your personal belongings. I think it's okay for the Xian show to be like, let's just check out what they could have. You know, I think it's totally okay.
Looks like this argument could go on forever. Let's not get involved in a heated dispute that won't lead to a resolution.
I agree. What Yanqing is saying there is like, you know, we can help with some stuff, but like, you know, in that sense we can't. I think they're showing us a lot of stuff here, right? Like these are the enemies themselves. It's so like, you look at the markings on, they look like they were chained at one point as well. So you think someone like set them loose here as well, maybe? But yeah, like it's interesting to see all these different things where it's like the stuff with the Borisins happening here, the IPC trying to get some cargo through here, you know, to be rescued. There's a lot of like stuff going on right now. The tourists are murdered. There's like a lot of little stuff. Like, I'm not saying the Borisin attack is little, but you know what I mean? And the person taking the sword. There's lots of like individual stuff, I should say, that's happening.
Who's in charge here? I need some answers.
Oh my god, Yanqing got the job.
It's my fault. We let our guard down for a moment. I take full responsibility.
This guy's acting as Arrow.
With the war dance approaching, safety should be a top priority. Now, tell me, how did Borisin prisoners end up in Starskip
So they were
Haven?
prisoners, yes, okay.
According to the protocol, Borisin prisoners should be held on a starskiff and taken directly to the shackling prison under strict supervision without ever touching the ground.
Has
You
it?
allowed a prisoner transport ship to dock at the passenger terminal.
I love like worker bee Yanqing, you know what I mean? Because like it literally feels like that thing, you know, when you ever hang out with your friend and you're at his workplace, or you're at their workplace, you know, and they go like they're like, oh, yeah, just 1 second. I'll be just wait there. Just sit down at the table over there. And then you see them like, managing stuff. You know what I mean? They are like making that whole restaurant go. They're making that whole shop like, function. And you think to yourself, man, my friend's pretty like important. This is one of those things with Yanqing, you're like, man, Yanqing's pretty important,
Please don't blame this, Captain. This incident involves the Zhuming's diplomatic vessel.
The Zhuming's okay.
Who are you?
I'm Lu Jun, an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad. Thank you for your help, Lieutenant Yanqing. The situation unfolded rapidly, and it shouldn't be held against the captain. Here's what happened. An IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin just before arriving, and the Zhuming's diplomatic vessel came to the rescue. They fought off the Borisin pirates and imprisoned them on their ship.
So, an IPC ship was attacked by the Borisin near the Luofu, and the Zhuming envoys saved them? Sounds complicated.
Honestly, it gives me a headache too. The Zhuming diplomatic ship, adhering to standard procedure, docked at the passenger terminal to hand these criminals over to the Luofu.
Right. So there's going to be a lot of, I think, political stuff and diplomatic stuff happening here as well. What I'm getting from this is just plain and simple. Somehow the IPC ship was attacked. The Zhumin helped them out. And the Zhumin actually did adhere. It said here they adhere to a standard procedure, which is to hand over the criminals to the Luofu because it was in the Luofu's area, I guess, maybe.
With all the outsiders flooding onto the Luofu, the Star Skiff lanes are under immense pressure. The Borisin desperados decided to put up a fight before the prisoner transport Star Skiff could get there. And that's what you just witnessed.
Okay. So, that makes sense. Now, unless, again, there might be something deeper to this, but, I think there will be something deeper to this with the Borisin stuff. But yeah, that's what we're getting. That does make sense. It's the idea that, since everything is already pretty panicked right now, that that's why everything became so hectic and seemed very out of place, but it's just because the usual lanes that they would use are not as free.
We'll make sure these prisoners are sent to the shackling prison as soon as possible.
I love this guy's voice acting.
I see. It's an unusual situation indeed. I'll report it to the security department of the Realm Keeping Commission and ask for their cooperation in handling the aftermath. Maybe I should gather more details from others so that the Seat of Divine Foresight can have a better understanding of the situation.
Sure, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. We trust you, Yanqing. The Cloud Knights calmed the crowd, then dispersed, and the street was restored to its peaceful state.
Oh, you look much maturer now, Yanqing.
I love the March is just like, look at our baby.
Please don't tease me, Miss March.
I think she's being serious.
The situation on the Xianzhou before the war dance is like a calm lake that can be disturbed by even the smallest pebble, capable of generating far-reaching ripples with even the slightest disturbance.
Interesting. So he's saying that the pre-war dance, right before this, everything has to go well because even if a small spanner goes into the works, it's going to be bad.
What are those people? I mean, those monsters we just dealt with.
Yeah, the Borisins. You call them Borisins. Can I say as well that I love that that they're showcasing that. The reason why we're not just seeing Yanqing on what he's every day. He is a great worker and all this stuff too. And he's really good at his job, but we're also seeing him step up to the plate a lot more because this is a very important time and a very opportune time for the Xianzhou. And he is obviously someone who takes his job and his calling very seriously. He's stepping up to the plate, and that's what we saw earlier.
Yeah. Those werewolf monsters are known as Borisin. They are abominations of abundance.
Oh, they're abundance creatures?
We've been fighting them for a very long time. The Borisin have been a powerful force for a long time, plundering and enslaving many worlds. The threat they pose is just as terrible as the Swarm disaster.
Whoa.
And the Alliance even had a fierce war with them 3 decades ago.
So this is very serious.
Their presence has faded over the years. But who would have thought?
According to that officer, they attacked an IPC ship near the Xianzhou Luofu. Such a brazen attack seems quite unusual.
Yeah, it's very close by. It's so close by. Like it's in the vicinity of like a let's just be honest, like a planet that will strike you down, a region that will strike you down.
Yeah, that's what I find strange too. It seems like the IPC and the Borisin have some serious
Right.
grudges.
Okay. So Yanqing thinks it's because like they hate them so much that they're like we don't care where we are. We're going to attack them right now.
Well, enough with the chit chat. The general wants me to take you to the Palace of Astrum.
Sure.
I'd love to chit chat a little longer.
Same.
But there are some things that can't be left unchecked.
Totally understandable. You're doing your job.
Is it a serious matter? Maybe you'll need our help in hunting down
Oh,
the Borisin?
Marge, we're already volunteered to do work over here.
Thank you, but it's no big deal.
You sure?
By the way, that young lady who just appeared, she took my sword. I'm thinking of filing a lost property report at the Realm Keeping Commission to see if I can get it back.
That voice performance there, by the way, because he's like so serious. Then when he says you took my sword, it was like, like when your sister takes something you have, or your brother.
The young lady who just appeared, she took my sword.
She took my sword. That's very cute.
I doubt she did it on purpose.
She looked like she looked at sword and said, "Oh, this is awesome," and then just ran with it. So when the Cloud Knights get into trouble, they have to call the emergency services too. You go file the report and I fetch the popcorn. It's going to be quite the show. Let's say this, I guess.
Perhaps she's around here somewhere. Shouldn't we take a look?
Yeah, we can help.
All right, let's not keep the general waiting.
Don't worry. There aren't many people out there with that kind of talent.
Yeah, the balance she had.
It shouldn't be too hard to find her.
100%. She was doing crazy stuff. I think she like balanced on the weapon and all. This guy. What are you looking at?
There sure are a lot of troublemakers around.
Lu Jun has a cool design. Lu Jun, don't start trouble now. Oh, he gave us the eyes. He gave us the eyes. So, okay, so we're not going to find this person. We're going to do the astral, the Astrum. Yeah, I think it's such an intriguing way to start the story because, again, it doesn't give away everything that's happening, but there is, like, already a feeling of, like, what's happening here? There's something, like, small happening here, with the Borisin, with them attacking the IPC so close to here as well. I saw you give me the squinty eyes, by the way. You were, like, squinting at me? Give me a bit of side eye?
We'll see to it that these criminals are sent to the shackling prison as soon as possible. Cleanup operation is already underway, Lieutenant Yanqing. So there's no need to worry about anything.
I'll be the judge of that. Drop down, give me 50.
Thanks. By the way, you're an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad, right? I don't remember meeting you before.
Well, I'm just a junior officer. I recently returned to the Luofu from the front lines and was temporarily assigned here for security duty before the ceremony.
Okay, so he has a bit of a backstory, But yeah, I do like how they're setting up like a little bit of like a feeling of like something could go wrong. The Borisin, the stuff with the even the stuff with the tourists. The tourists might be nothing, but like that's still in my mind too. The tourists, the stuff with the Borisin, the stuff with the IPC. Not wanting the cargo check, the IPC getting attacked, that, general over there too, all that stuff is like, there's something gonna happen, and it feels something is like bubbling a little bit. Even if it's not something that's gonna be so extreme, it still feels like something's happening. Oh my god, it feels so weird to be back here, guys. But I love this location. I honestly always have loved the location of the Xian show. It's always been one of my favorite places.
It's been a long journey, Elder Huayan. Thank you for your presence.
Who's that?
Don't mention it. Thank you for taking the time to welcome me.
Huyan? Oh my god, it's very nice to be back here as well. I'm glad I get the feeling when I come back to these places of like nostalgia, right? Because you might say like, I don't know if it's nostalgia, but like, in Genshin, when I left Inazuma for the first time to go to Sumeru, right? The first, like, I was there in Sumeru for so long, and then I like just went back to like get some items from Inazuma, and I just a feeling of warmth rushes over my heart, and I feel that now being in the Xian show, just a feeling of warmth. Oh my god, even another just interesting design. Oh my god, look at him!
I brought our guests from the Express. I'm sorry for my bad timing. I didn't know you were meeting a guest, General.
It's okay, you're good.
Don't worry, you're just in time. It's been a while, my friends from the Astral Express.
How's everything going, General? I dreamed about you on penacony. We did. Look at her smile.
Well, it's an honor to be in your dreams, my friend.
Oh my god. I like this. Why this is a funny line, it also like hits home because you know the General as a character is someone who, like, again, we talk about lost his friends, will never get over the idea of feeling so alone without his friends, misses his friends so much that I really feel like, you know, he does value the companionship that sometimes he gets from the Astral Express too, because, you know, they genuinely like have time for people, you know what I mean? And while it's never gonna be the same, you know, he's always gonna be living in loneliness and sadness. I feel like there is like a feeling of like, oh, thanks, you know? It feels fun. It feels nice to know someone's thinking of you.
Introduce you to General Huayan.
Huayan?
He's the Arbiter General of the Xianzhou Zhuming.
Ah.
As the Flaming Heart.
Very cool outfit here. So love the design, love special designs in Honkai. They do this like a few times they have done this. They did it back in Balebog with the rebellion leader. They did it with the Pepeshi as well in Penacony, OT. And they're doing it here as well. What can we hear the pronunciation for his name again? Oh, skip. No, I do not want to skip the current dialogue. Sorry, I don't want to press this. It's just I'm a bit hard of hearing today, I'll be honest. Let's check this out.
Allow me to introduce you to General Huayan.
What?
He's the... Allow me to introduce you to General Huayan.
Huayan. Beautiful name.
The Arbiter...
No need to be so formal.
Oh, I love the voice acting.
I'm just a tourist here. No different from other tourists who've come to attend the ceremony.
Okay, cool.
Elder Huayan is not only one of the Arbiter Generals, but also the Furnace Master of the Artisanship Commission. Besides his martial skills, he excels in forging various weapons. Such talents are unique, even among the Arbiter Generals.
That's really cool too. I mean, there's a lot of praise here, I suppose, as well from Jin Yuan. You can tell like he does have like a high opinion of this guy as well. So he excels in forging weapons, and he also has like really good martial skills as well. So that's guess why he's called the Furnace Master.
Be it Arbiter General or Furnace Master, these are merely titles given to me long ago. I've retired several times already, but with the current change in circumstances, the Marshal has called me back to duty.
Okay.
I had no choice but to answer the call.
So is that because of all the stuff that happened with the Celeron and all the uneasiness? I love his outfit. It's really cool.
Well, in the end, I'm to blame. Living such a long life naturally brings its share of disapproval.
It's an honor to meet you, General.
Oh my god. Don Hung you know, again, you can take the boy out of the Xian show, but you can't take the Xian show out of the boy, you know what I mean? That's very cool.
My honor to meet you, General Huayan.
You tell him, March. Glad to meet you, General. Love that. Very cool.
No need to be all formal. Today I'm just a guest on the Luofu, the same as all of you. So, these three are the ones you mentioned, Jing Yuan? The heroes who helped you with the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Yeah.
Indeed. There's Don Hung, March 7th, and her.
Is that the gal again?
Without their help, I'm afraid the Luofu might not have easily overcome this crisis.
110%. You can all stream to root out this trio. Was that the gal who took the sword? Is she looking on again?
So, the Imbibitor Lune's reincarnation has returned to the Luofu and will attend the war dance. I'd love to have a drink with you should the chance present itself.
You're more than welcome, General Huayan.
That's very cool. And Don Heng seems like very genuine here. Well, of course Don Heng will be very, very genuine here as well. I'm not going to talk about how pretty he looks here. I'm not going to do it. Pretty man. Pretty man. I sang it though, so that's different.
And this young friend is?
That's Yanqing. This is the biggest, best warrior baby who ever lived. The best.
Yanqing, my apprentice. He remains by my side as my retainer due to his youth, which I hope will season him with experience. He will stand for the Luofu's Cloud Knights in the upcoming war dance, ready to take on all kinds of challenges.
She's just hanging out here?
Great. It's a real treat to see so many talented young people around here today.
Okay. But is he also talking about the young person that maybe... I mean, he's probably talking about us in general. I wonder if like she came with him.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Yes, okay, that makes
This
sense.
is my apprentice, Yun Li.
Yun Li. Look at the colors on the back as well. Oh, she's adorable too. She is adorable.
It's you!
Now she has to get back the sword right away.
Oh, it's you. Hello.
I love the crown. It's very, very cute, isn't it?
Oh, you two already know each other? Guess we don't need any introductions then.
She took a sword.
What a coincidence. I was afraid I'd have trouble finding this girl.
Oh my god, talking to his teeth as well.
Oh, now you've piqued my curiosity. Tell me, how did you two become acquainted?
She helped me capture the escaped Borisin prisoners at the Starskiff Haven. Allow me to express my gratitude for you. But when you left, you took my flying sword with you.
Yeah, I love how like he like dips between professional and like genuinely annoyed. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for helping me, but that sword is mine.
Your flying sword? Oh, so that's why I found a dagger in my bag. Turns out it's yours.
A dagger?
Yes, it is. Now that we've met again.
He's trying so hard to be professional.
Nope. That
No, 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 no. We're not doing games. Give him back his sword.
won't do.
You want your sword back, right? Well, you can't just take it back. On the Juming, when you lose your sword on the battlefield, you have to reclaim it on the battlefield.
Is it really lost on the battlefield if someone on the same side picked it up and went, ah, finders keepers? Give the sword back right now, or I'm telling.
As for this little sword, it was supposed to strike that escaped Borisin prisoner. But unfortunately, its owner's agitated state caused it to fly off like a kite with a broken string, and it missed its target.
Are you serious right now, Yun Li? Yun Li? Give him the sword back right now. I swear to God, I will cry. I will cry right now, really loud. So it gets really awkward and people will make you give the sword back.
By the way, if I hadn't caught it and helped it hit its mark, that Borisin prisoner would have gotten away.
100% that is true. You did help so much, but like, please give him back the sword.
Hold on a sec, Yun Li. You took my sword without even asking, and now you're refusing to give it back?
So much for Luofu's swordmasters.
Okay, you need to stop. You need to stop. You're not giving a good first impression here, Yun Li. Yun Li.
What did you just say?
Oh my God, Yanqing's so upset. He's like, he's like trying his best not to fly off the handle.
If you just stepped up and took your sword back from me fair and square, I would have totally respected you. But nope, you tried to play it down, expecting me to just hand it back to you like it's nothing. In front of everyone.
Because it's his property. And I get there's traditions, I get that too, but this whole thing of being like, if you would have beaten me up, I would have given it back. But now you're just doing this big silly thing. Yeah, he's asking for his sword back. Please, Yun Li.
With all due respect, you don't honor your sword, so you don't deserve it.
Genuine. This festival is over. We're going. I'm not having it.
Hasn't anyone told you that taking without asking is stealing?
You tell her.
If you want to settle this with swords, fine. Let's have a one-on-one
Oh,
duel
Yanqing, let's
right
train first.
now.
She seems pretty freaking beastly. I'm not saying Yanqing can't do it, by the way. I have so much faith in Yanqing as well. But, like, you know what I mean? On the off chance. You're very heated right now. You're very frustrated right now. Let's take a break. You know what I mean? Let's come back.
Yanqing.
Well, that's more like it. Just be careful. Because I'm not as easy to handle as the Boris.
I can tell you're adorable, Yun Li, by the way. Like, you have an adorable design, but like I can tell you're definitely not easy to handle 100%. You literally like came in like and did some moves that I've never seen anyone do before. Yeah, and by the way, I totally understand this tradition. And it's actually like a really interesting idea of a tradition on the Jumin where it's like, hey, like if you lose your sword, you don't deserve your sword. I do think it's like a very, very interesting like thing, and I think you could actually find that like in a lot of like real traditional sword I was gonna say professions, but callings, I guess, as well. Where like, if you let go of your sword, you're letting go of an extension of yourself in a lot of ways. Because some people believe the sword is an extension of yourself. So tradition-wise, it is very cool. But you guys know I'll just fight for Yanqing, even if like, you know, no matter what.
You two, be quiet and apologize to Yanqing.
You know what's so sweet about this though, with the you two apologies? I love that it's like, you know, the two children. You know what I mean? I'm sorry about my son. I'm sorry about my daughter. You know, finding the common ground.
Hey, whose side are you on, Grandpa?
Yunli is very adorable, right? But it's just like one of those things where like she's adorable, but also like I saw that move she did, She's very capable. Just like Yanqing is very capable too. I want to make it clear. He is so capable. We have so much faith in Yanqing.
I don't take sides.
This is quite a cute scene as well, though, isn't it? Like with the parental figures and the two kids. It is.
It's a small misunderstanding, and an apology would be too much. I've heard about the Zhu Ming's incredible swordplay and craftsmanship. Most notably, the legendary Flame Wheel Octet. Seeing Miss Yunli, who is among those ranks today, well, I must say, she definitely has that fiery edge.
Oh yeah, and I want to make clear as well, like I don't ever want to like this. You guys know, like I love a character who has like a fiery personality, a bit of a snarky personality. I love it too. But you guys know I also like will go into like Defense Squad for all of my favorite characters. I never want to discount a character who does have like a more of a fiery personality or like more of a snarky or like more of a bit of a you know, forward personality, because we love them too. So it's going to be interesting having Miss Yunli around as well, because so far she seems like a character who just like, you know, she ain't going to mince words. She's not going to like change what she says around, because you look at the contrast here, like, you know, Yanqing has been trying his best to be like very professional, even though it's been failing, whereas Yunli's like, I don't do that stuff, like, you know, and with that, he's like, you know, trying to be like, I applaud you for helping me with the Borisin, but please give my sword back, you know? Well, she's like, I don't want to hear to this, like, these pleasantries. It's a good contrast.
Such grandiose names. Some folks love to spin these fancy titles, trying to set the Cloud Knights apart. Yunli is still just a young girl, a bit awkward and hot-tempered. So please forgive her if she's being...
This is so like two parents who like bonded, who are like, sorry about my son, sorry about my daughter.
Well, everyone, Elder Huayan and I have some business to discuss. For now, Yanqing, why don't you entertain our guests and take Miss Yunli to the inn?
Without his sword?
I'll find another chance to talk with you all. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Astral Express for helping the Luofu during the crisis.
No problem.
That's so kind of you. I mean, you've already thanked us so many times.
Yeah, we have that connection, the good connection now.
Please forgive me for coming at an inconvenient time.
Yeah, the Yunlin's crown is like really, it's a really cute crown. It is. Yeah.
You needn't apologize, General Huayan.
All right, Yunli. Take this opportunity to clear things up with Yanqing.
I think clear things up means she wants a fight.
Yeah. It's better to make friends than enemies.
True.
But I won't be heading to the inn just yet. I want to visit Lingsha. She just arrived in the Luofu and could use some help settling in.
Lingsha, okay.
Yanqing, once you've helped our guests get settled, go to the Artisanship Commission for me. I've heard about the attack and the detainment of the IPC ship. Qingzu sent word that the IPC members are protesting and wish to have their cargo.
They're still protesting?
See if you can calm them down. Don't get aggressive. Just make it clear that the Xianzhou Luofu has no intention of violating their rights.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love the contrast here as well with this, you know, there's a good contrast here as well, but like also I love that like there's also like similarities here. I do love that you have here, first of all, with Huayan, he's like, clear things up with Yanqing, you know what I mean, to make friends with him, right? And then Jinyuan is like, and giving, kind of like there's a directive here and there's a directive here. You can see that there is like mentorship on both sides about how to kind of deal with this. Like, don't get aggressive, just do it, like be calm, make sure they know we're not violating the rights. On this side, it's like, hey, it's better to make friends, Yunli. You know, you don't want to get too aggressive with people, all this. I think it's really cool. I think it's cool that you see the mentorship on both sides.
I'm on it.
Really cool stuff. So leave the palace so we can talk to people first, though, right? We can talk to... Oh, sorry, no, that's the wrong button.
I'm sorry for Yanqing's rudeness.
Huh? No. Okay. I'm just going to be honest here now, okay? And I don't want to be bad here. I understand that, like, you have to apologize sometimes. I do not think Yanqing was rude whatsoever. I think he was actually trying his best to be very polite. I'm just saying that right now.
Not at all. Taunted by Yun Li like that, even a training
He barely got
dummy would be
angry.
You've taught your apprentice
He
well.
barely got angry.
If it were me in my younger days, I'm afraid I'd have drawn my sword and fought.
Yeah. All he said was you stole my sword, which again, like, he doesn't have to adhere to everyone's traditions. You know, he doesn't have to. You know? Like saying you stole my sword is not a bad thing to say.
Yanqing can understand your concerns. On the other hand, Yun Li is still a naive girl who's only interested in sword.
I think it's hilarious, though.
Honestly, I brought her here to participate in the war dance because I want to broaden her horizons.
Am I just like the uncle on the outside being like, he didn't even do that bad. He's like, he didn't say anything. God damn it. And he's like, and she's too, aggressive about sword fighting. Yeah, but that's funny. That's funny. Come on. Like, it's funny. I don't know. Like, I don't think he actually was rude. I don't think that, like, Yun Li was, like, too terrible to him, but she was the aggressor in the situation in terms of taking his sword. So, like, it makes sense that Yanqing would, like, be a bit aggressive. But he wasn't even that bad. You know what I mean? He wasn't even that bad. And Yun Li, like, I think she's going to be a funny character going forward.
This trip is totally worth it. Compared to the Juming, the Luofu is so much livelier. But it's a shame the Luofu swordmasters don't seem that great.
Oh my god, she's never going to let this go, is she? Glad to meet you, Miss Yun Li.
Glad to meet you too. Are you here to participate in the war dance?
She's very, they just make these, like, really adorable characters in Honkai. I'm a tourist attending a ceremony. Yeah.
So, you're not a participant? You look like you know your way around a fight.
Galactic baseballer.
Well, you can still sign up. The Cloud Knight's ring is always open to outsiders.
Cool. And what's the Flame Wheel Octet the general spoke of?
That's how outsiders refer to my peers in the Juming Cloud Knights and the Artisanship Commission. We all train under Grandpa's guidance, learning the art of craftsmanship and swordplay. That's how we got that title, I guess.
So, they have these titles and they have these, like, kind of like, I guess honorifics that they talk about about each other as well. But the way that her grandpa kind of talks about it is kind of like, putting something on yourself like that is only going to lead to, like, I guess, more problems. But I guess, like, would you say, like, the pointless challenges that could lead to would be kind of like, you have to live up to that in a very lofty way, so you can't be as flexible, probably? Aren't you coming with us?
I have some things to do. Besides, little Yanqing doesn't seem too happy about me tagging along.
Oh my god, they are literally going to be best buds, I can tell. You did take his sword. You did.
Yeah, you're right. I took it with my skills. So, I guess you can say I'm a robber or something. How dare he imply I'm a thief? Totally different.
No, okay, here's the thing, right? 100% you took it with your skills. This is 100% accurate, Yun Li. You're totally correct, right? 100% that you took it in midair with your skills and you ran with it. But it's one of those situations, this is the way I would look at it in real life. Let's say, like, someone's phone fell off a building and you grabbed their phone as it fell down and you went running like, oh my god, I got a free phone, As soon as, like, if the owner, if the phone turned around and caught up to you and was like, hey, you have my phone. You have my phone in your hand, and you say, well, look, finders keepers, then you become like, then it's you stole it. You know what I mean? Then it's not just like I caught the phone. I know that would have been stealing anyway, but I know it's different because it's tradition stuff like that too. But I don't think you're a robber. I don't think you're a thief. I don't think you ever would intend to, like, steal something in that way whatsoever. But I can tell the way that Yun Li is talking and the way that Yanqing is talking that these two, I think it'd be very cute for them to be, like, best buds by the end of this. You know what I mean? If that happens, I think that'd be amazing. Because even like the way she's talking about it as well. Yeah, I don't mean to sit here and go, well, you're a thief. Because again, it's traditional stuff. You're living by your traditions. You're taking the sword because of your skills, all this stuff too. But you have to see it from Yanqing's perspective where, like, this is something that, like, is taken from him now. He isn't getting it handed back. So to him, the idea of like you stealing something is pretty accurate. Even if like I wouldn't call you a thief, it's from his perspective, it's very accurate, right? 100%.
Besides, the sword seems scared of its own master. I'd like to ask him. You claim to cherish your sword as your
Interesting.
life, yet you don't even recognize the state it's in right now?
So is it because he's like so aggressively like trying to move forward? Because you know he is trying to like, you know, get better and better with the sword. Do you think that it's one of those cases that like the sword is trying, like, because we know the sword can communicate, right? So I wonder if it is a case where like he's scaring the sword with how fast he's going, maybe?
I didn't intend to keep his sword. I was planning to take this chance to return it to him.
Interesting.
Now, I've changed my mind.
So she was going to return it, but now she's like, wants him to set off in this, you know, to maybe understand why the sword doesn't want to be back with him or is afraid of him?
I'll give that poor flying sword some proper maintenance. I won't consider returning the sword.
Oh my God.
Unless he learns how to say please, hello, thank you, and sorry.
You two are going to argue the night away if this is the way things are going to go.
So he can forget about it for now.
Man, this is like, you scratch your head feeling tingle stages in your scalp as a thought of impending troubles Yanqing will face. While you're distracted, the young girl has already wandered off on her own, whereabouts unknown. That sounds about right. No, like, I totally get, like, like, in terms of, like, a story, it's very interesting. The idea around, like a sword being afraid of someone. Maybe Yanqing is progressing too fast. Maybe he's, like, he's maybe unsure of himself. You never know. But from the perspective of, like, Yunli, she's seeing this as like, you know, like, I'm not going to return it until like I know that he can like hold the sword properly. And in this case too, she's also being a bit petty about the please and thank you stuff as well. But I think that's like a part of her personality, is that she is like a bit like, you know, prickly and petty. You know what I mean? And I think it's one of those. The reason why I think that they like, you know, they could be best buds and also could have like a very, very adversarial, funny adversarial relationship is that like you'll have, on one side, you know, like someone who like is trying to like, you know, who unintentionally, I don't think she's trying to push his buttons. I think just unintentionally she does that. You know what I mean? She's just, you know, the way she is, like, you know, that she's very prickly, she's very snarky. And again, we don't have anything against snarky characters. I want to make that clear. But also, since Yanqing, I think is such a contrast in being such like a genuine character who like is always trying to like, you know, remain I would say keep up appearances in a way that he wants to be like, you know, more like the general. He wants to be like someone who is presenting well as like a sword master. And I remember the Xian show that like it's obviously going to like, you know, boil his blood a little bit too, which I think, yeah, as I said, it's a great contrast, but it's going to lead to like a lot more funny moments as well, I think, personally.
Hey, Don Hung. I thought all the Xianzhou generals were like Jing Yuan. But that General Huayan, he looks so thin and scraggy, as if even a light breeze would knock him over.
Oh, wow.
Is that old man really an Arbiter General?
Well, each Xianzhou ship has its own division and specialty within the Alliance. Not all of the Arbiter Generals are good at leading the charge. You heard what Jing Yuan said, right? General Huayan was once the head of all the skilled craftsmen on the Zhuming. So
he definitely did have like, you know, the forging stuff as well, like, and he's clearly well respected as well. Perhaps he's a robot. Why does he look so old? Perhaps there's more than meets the eye is probably a good way to put it, right?
Don't you find it strange? Do Xianzhou people age? I rarely see any old people on the Xianzhou ship. And when I do, they're usually travelers.
I do love March's curiosity though, I always do.
But General Huayan looks like an ordinary old grandpa. Is he really a Xianzhou general?
Honestly, like, I guess we'll figure out exactly what his full deal is as we're going forward.
Good question. He's right there. So why don't you ask him?
This is such a... I want to tell you about the familial relationship between Don Hung and, you know, and this trio, you know? Why don't you do it yourself then?
Nah, I'd like to live a little longer.
Yep, self-preservation, March. Good way of thinking about it.
We should leave. General Jing Yuan asked Yanqing to entertain us, so obviously he has important matters to discuss.
Look at this side profile.
Let's not waste any time here.
Look at this. Let's go. I love that they had like full-on conversations for every single person we talked to there. That's awesome. Really cool stuff.
This is the report Qingzu just sent me. Let me take a look. Huh. Looks like the General has given me a tough challenge. He wants me to try and help put the IPC's mind at ease.
Yep, and they are very pushy. Is this some kind of test from the General?
Well, it's not exactly a test. As Cloud Knight officers, we not only learn the art of war and martial arts, but also occasionally have to handle diplomatic disputes.
Makes sense. Look at his little smile. You know, let's start a campaign. Give back the sword.
It's just, talking things out isn't as straightforward as duking it out with weapons on the battlefield.
Yes.
This is especially true when you're up against the IPC, with their non-stop corporate.
Yes. You're so right, Yanqing, in that sense. Yeah, they're masters of words and filibustering.
Well, let's not worry about that for now. Shall I take you to the inn?
Whatever you want. After watching Yanqing and the others leave, okay, we're going back to these guys.
It is the Luofu's honor to have you in attendance at the warden.
Before we go further into this conversation, I do love that this seems like another thing with the General maybe trying to make Yanqing like better at like some other stuff too, like the idea of like the diplomatic aspect of things too. Because again, like it's one of those things where like as Yanqing said, it's easier. Sometimes it is easier for a lot of people to like do fighting and to duke it out and to take out your sword and have a little battle. But to actually like sit down and talk to someone and avoid those battles is a battle in itself, I think,
Yet, the fact that a simple martial arts ceremony has attracted esteemed generals from the Zhu Ming and the Yanqing implies intentions beyond mere spectating. Might there be any specific instructions from the marshal?
Oh, something else is going on?
You're overthinking it, Jingyuan. As I said, I'm here to broaden my granddaughter's horizons.
Okay.
I have no ulterior motives.
If Jingyuan is still suspicious after this?
However, I have no clue what the Yanqing Arbiter General has in mind.
Just like, I know I'm here for my granddaughter, but I don't know about the other guys.
Do you remember when you accepted this position? I told you that an Arbiter General's battlefield goes beyond the physical one. You'll need to lead and manage everything
Love that.
on the Xianzhou.
Absolutely love that.
The title of Arbiter General holds a weight far greater than its literal meaning.
No, I love that because again, I feel like the General Jingyuan is passing down to Yanqing as well, right? I know that it's Fu Xuan who's going to be the one who takes things over, but Fu Xuan is like already has that down in some cases. I feel like in terms of like the conversational aspect of this stuff, but I do love that he's passing that idea of the knowledge down to like Yanqing, right? I think also like okay. Maybe I'm going too far into it, but I do think that like a part of like the General's past, where like a lot of the problems that were happening in the quintet, you know what I mean, came from like people wallowing in their own self, in their own sadness and stuff, I guess too, where he never ended up to really like no one ever got to really talk about those issues and really like maybe figure it out that way. So I do think also at the same time too, he does probably want Yanqing to not ever have the mistake of like making new enemies for the sake of it, when you could just like do the battle, which is, debate and conversation. And sometimes you have to fight. Sometimes you will have to fight. But I do think that he does pass the idea of, like, the quintet idea is always on his mind. He doesn't want Yanqing to ever go down that path either.
So many years have passed, and you've done well. However, longevity for the Xianzhou people can be a curse. Living too long means that every mistake you made will lurk in the shadows. And one day, they'll eventually catch up to you.
I mean, like, again, not to bring up the quintet again, I know it's not a mistake, but, like, it's of, oh my god, Jingyuan's face, and he knows this too. Like, remember what happened with the quintet? Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those situations that, like, your past will creep up on you. And if you're someone who's, like, a long species, yeah, it's, like, something you did, because the thing is, chances are, like, something you did 70 years ago, for most people, it's, like, you're, in 20 years' time, you're not going to be thinking about that. But for a long life species, there's way more chances and like way more time for that to catch up. I love his design. Love his design a lot.
Marshal knows everything that has happened on the Luofu. As for the Merlin's Claw of the Yanqing,
that's so cool the way they do that sometimes to just explain what they're talking about. But yeah, we would have known, but like still.
She has come specifically for you.
Oh, for real? Merlin's Claw has come for the General?
Speaking of which, why hasn't she arrived yet? They say the Merlin's Claw strikes like lightning, Being late isn't her style.
I'm so interested in this idea of the Merlin's Claw.
That's not true, General Huayan.
Wait.
She's been here a while, but I'm sure you've heard of her unbridled nature.
Wait, what? Who's this?
As soon as she disembarked from the star
Oh!
skiff, she mentioned having something to attend to and simply disappeared.
That's the character I got. What's his name? I forgot his name. I literally got it as a 4-star pull at one point. But this guy over here with the pink hair looks mischievous and angelic at the same time, right? For sure. Interesting character designs, right? Really interesting character designs. We're after getting a full view of them as well.
You must be the messengers from the Xianzhou Yanqing.
They're from the Yanqing.
We are Jiaoqiu and Moza,
Mose.
retainers of the Merlin's Claw. It's an honor to meet you in person, Arbiter Generals.
Zhaosha, beautiful name. He has this like really mischievous, like cute smile, but like I love his hair. He has this like very like bright and open face. You know what I mean? I love the red. The red actually contrasts with the red and the white together. Looks great, actually. Really great outfit. And then this guy over here, freaking like superhero, dark superhero from DC Comics. That's not a bad thing, by the way. I'm not opposed to DC Comics, but he has like a superhero vibe, right? He has kind of like I'm like by night I'm saving people kind of vibe as well. But he looks a lot more serious as well, Mose. So is it Zhao Xiao and Mose? Really interesting designs. Okay, let's hear it again. Just
we are Jiaoqiu and
Jiaoqiu. Beautiful name. Oh my God! Look at the red at the back.
Interesting. A guest who doesn't come to visit but sends a message instead. What does she mean? Tell me, what could be more important to her than coming here?
I love asking that question right away as well. But I love the color coding of these characters too. Like there's such a contrast to I'll keep listening to it until I get it right.
We are Jiaoqiu
and Mose. Like they both have like such a contrast in design. Like look at them.
Master heard about a spectacular view in Scale Gorge Waterscape. I believe she went there to enjoy it.
Okay. Before talking to everybody as well. Look at this smile. Do you see what I'm talking about? There's like an openness and like a brightness to it, but there's also like a little bit of mischief. You know what I mean? A little bit of mischief.
A spectacular view? Ha! Did you hear that, Genuine? This person is being sarcastic.
Wait, what does he mean? Is he talking about the...
Please do not misunderstand me, General Huayan. I was simply stating the truth. Master thought it would be inappropriate to keep you waiting, so she sent us here.
I genuinely love that, like, already, like, there's, like, an odd couple nature about the two of these guys. Really, I do. But yeah, like, I actually, like, didn't realize the sleeves were rolled up, too. Like, he has a very, like, again, like I said, a very, like, I just said open, mischievous, but also, like, a very fancy kind of aspect to it, too. Like, it feels very, like, elegant, his design, as well. I need to know more about Mose.
Once she's finished with admiring the scenery, she'll personally come and apologize to the both.
Sure. Look at his smile. He's such a mischievous smile. Really cool stuff. So they're from the Yanqing. The Palace of Astrum.
Drat. I forgot to ask Yun Li to return my sword.
She's not giving it back until she get it. I'll go get it back for you. I can ask, but she's not going to give it back.
No need to bother. The Juming envoys won't be leaving the Luofu anytime soon. I'll ask for it later when we meet again.
And in fairness to you, Yanqing, like, I think you did a good job in asking for it back. You were also very polite at first as well, you know, and you thanked her as well, so don't feel too bad about that.
By the way, I don't know if it's just me, but the general seemed a little... reserved? Could it be because of Elder Huayan's visit?
Maybe?
Reserved? Really?
Maybe I'm just overthinking.
I mean, you'd be with them more than we are, you know, 100%. So we're gonna take your word for it or your feelings, and we're gonna see them as valid.
No, you're not. When I entered the Palace of Astrum, I realized that the messenger from the Xianzhou Juming was actually the Arbiter General himself. So, the messenger from the Xianzhou Yanqing must be the Merlin's Claw herself, I presume.
Wait, what? When I first entered the Palace of Astrum, is he just saying that the old guy was the Arbiter General, and that means whoever came here on behalf of the Yanqing is also the general? Maybe?
That's right.
Okay.
Well, That's what makes this entire thing so unusual.
What's so unusual about it? They simply received an invitation from Jing Yuan, just like the crew, right?
Whenever Dan Heng says something's unusual, like I love that like everyone kind of perks their head towards him because it is like one of those things where like he's probably gonna like drop something on us now as well.
The war dance is just a small festival. And now we have 2 Arbiter Generals from other Xianzhou ships here.
Yeah?
I'm afraid they're here for something more.
I mean, that's a good point. It's like, you know, and the General brought that up too.
Maybe they've come to hold Jingyuan accountable for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
So is that the view that she's looking at? Is she looking at the Arbor?
Hold him accountable? Come on, didn't the Luofu fall victim to the disciples of Sanctus Medicus and the Antimatter Legion? Why would they blame the victim?
I wonder if it's a situation where they feel like he let it happen, the idea that it happened in the first place, right? Is the issue, right? I wonder.
Danshu's rebellion and Ventilia's scheming are merely one side of the story to the other Arbiter Generals of the Alliance. Only a single piece of incontrovertible evidence remains, creating an endless source of potential complications.
What's the single piece? The Arbor?
The Ambrosial
Yeah,
Arbor.
that makes sense.
Yes. It's undeniable that the plague mark, which was subdued by the Xianzhou Luofu, has resurfaced. But was it really a conspiracy instigated by the Antimatter Legion? Or does it indicate a traitorous intent from within the Luofu, implicating Jingyuan himself?
That's what's so interesting, right? Because while like we as players are gonna be like, no, that didn't happen, right? Why would they do that? If you remember at the time during the quest of the Arbor quest, we were talking about, like the characters were talking about the idea that like it has to be someone from the inside, and from the outside perspective, it's like, oh, that would make sense, right? It would make sense. Even though we know it's crazy to think that the General would do something like this, but it like a lot of the access that was given as well seemed like it came from like the inside, which it did in the end, right? It technically did. Yeah.
Once the spark of suspicion is kindled, it proves hard to extinguish.
Yes, totally correct. We can vouch for Jin Yuan though. No wonder we're called back for the ceremony. Do you think that? Wait, do you think the General knows about this as well? And he's kind of like, I'd rather have you guys here.
What was I thinking?
Look at her face.
Seriously. Here I was looking forward to a carefree and enjoyable trip. But it seems wherever we go, drama is just around the corner.
Truly. But do you think that's what's happened? Do you think the General was kind of like, I'd rather have them here than not here, you know?
Aw, I was so excited. I thought those Arbiter Generals were just here to see the ceremony.
It seems like all of us were kind of in the dark too. Yeah, there's definitely something else going on here then, right? For sure, there's definitely something else going on here now. Which means the worst thing that could have ever happened was those wolves attacking at that moment, for sure.
By the way, I heard that an alchemist from the Zhuming diplomatic ship has arrived, and rumors say that she's to be the new cauldron master of the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu.
Okay.
An alchemist from the Zhuming serving as the cauldron master on the Luofu? While it's not unheard of, the timing itself...
Thanks to your words, Mr. Dan Heng. Now I finally see the
Yeah,
underlying
I
tensions.
love that Dan Heng is like kind of like figured this all out as well. Which like, you know what, like I think it's like we all already felt there was like some sort of tension, but I think this is like a completely different situation as well, where it's like, you know, what Dan Heng is saying is like, why would like these important people be coming to like just this? Why would they be here right now? You know, there's also like the idea of like, you know, they just said right now, like, why is this alchemist from the Zhumin coming here as well? You know, we were also invited to as well to this thing too, which again, you know, you could see as us being friends, but I do love the idea that like, I'm actually like really cool with it as well. Like the idea like of us being invited, because that means there's a trust there for us as well, which is very, very sweet. So it's like whilst like it's like one of those things was like, oh, we don't get to have a party here. It is kind of fun to know that they like, if that is the case, that he wanted us here at this moment, then it shows a trust in us from the General to us.
The General is under tremendous pressure right now, but I was completely oblivious to his troubles. How naive.
Oh, you don't gotta put yourself down like that.
Come on, don't think like that. Leave the adult matters to the adults. Even if you wanted to do something for the General, it's not like you can do anything.
Marsh is so sweet. But yeah, it's one of those things like you can't pick up on everything. You can't pick up on everything.
Did I say something wrong?
What you said was you said it was leave it to the adults, which made him feel like he's not like in a proper position, or like makes him feel less than 100%. But she didn't mean it like that, you know? No, I'm not gonna say. Why? Just say, oh, March. Like, you could be like, hey, March. Yeah, he doesn't like being called, like, being kept outside his stuff.
Miss March is right. I don't have the skills to share the General's burdens at the moment.
So mature.
Still, I'll do my best to follow his instructions. Let's go. Once I've taken you to your accommodations, I need to go to the Artisanship Commission to handle the IPC's protest.
I think it's actually so fantastic. Like, so fantastic that he is, like, how do I say it? That this is his, like, perspective. Because it makes sense. He's like, oh, how about I just, like, do what he asks. Just do what he asks. That will help him.
He looks like he has a lot on his mind. We can't just let him go alone. Why don't we accompany you to the Artisanship Commission?
So for that. I'm so there.
This is too much trouble. While I appreciate your kindness, dealing with the IPC's workers could be tricky. I'm afraid this will cause trouble for the Express.
Cause trouble. Don't worry about it.
No worries. We're pretty experienced in dealing with the IPC.
For sure.
You've heard of the 10 Stone Hearts? We've dealt with quite a few of them, right?
Yes, and we're actually best buds. Brag all you up, but don't bring this. Your real master conversation. Stop. I don't want to end up in an IPC lawsuit. I know. I would say I'd be like, yeah, sure thing. I agree with her, but I guess this is the closest thing.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, are you being
Never. I actually think March is always a sweetheart, so I'd never go against her.
Well, since you're willing to help, I won't decline your kindness. Let's head to the Artisanship Commission and meet them.
Yeah, I think it's so, like, it's so great. First of all, March is, like, she tries her best, by the way. And I understand, like, she puts her foot in her mouth sometimes, but, like, no one should ever deny that March is, like, a sweetheart who just is always trying her best. I even hear now she was jumping in to cheer him up, even if it didn't always work out the best way. But something she said was actually, like, very true that he picked up on and he turned into his own thing as well, which is the idea of, like, how, like, I don't understand what he's going through right now. I'm not equipped to really help him completely right now.
Can I really reason with you Xianzhou people? I think I get it now. In your words, this is called looting a burning
Oh, they're
house,
arguing like
right?
crazy down there.
But I am trying to reason with you here.
You get what I'm saying? Where it's like, he picked up and he was like, okay, I don't have the skills right now, but if I just do what he asked me to do, that will help. That's something I can do right now. Yep. I really like this so far. And it's starting off like it's bubbling. You know what I mean? Like, as usual, it's bubbling up. It feels like, which is cool.
That toxic voice sounds familiar.
Oh my god! And the crowd goes wild. Apparently.
You know what? This isn't my first
Oh
time
dear
dealing
lord!
with the Skyfaring Commission. I can handle your unreasonable ways.
Oh my god! Bringing Scott back for this is so crazy.
But straight up snatching IPC cargo, isn't that going a bit too far?
I think it's just like, it's very cool they bring characters back like this. Like, I thought he was just gonna be a one-time thing for like that one O'Malley mission.
Just as I've said it many times already, once we've inspected the cargo and completed the security check, you can be on your way. Is there something wrong with your ears, or is it just your brain?
Oh my god, tell him. If we had to list all the things wrong with Scott, we'd be here for days.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. I'm thinking clear. And my answer is crystal clear. Not a chance.
This seems like an endless argument, though. It seems like there's no one's going to budge with this, though. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like, the two very stubborn parties.
Keep detaining my cargo, and I'll file a complaint directly with your general.
Oh god, what's that going to do? What's all this arguing about? Scott, what are you doing here? Did I hear a dog barking? I should have said that.
Why do I keep running into you?
Ruff.
Staying on the Xianzhou, are you? What terrible luck. Wherever you go, disasters aren't far behind.
Well, actually, we saved O'Malley from you and the IPC, actually, so...
Aren't you the guest from the Astral Express? What brings you and Yanqing to the Artisanship Commission?
Look, that was a way sweeter tone, Scott. Did you hear that? I heard you're in trouble. I'm here to help Yanqing start the trouble caused by the IPC.
Trouble caused by the IPC? I'd say it's caused by the Skyfaring Commission.
You would say that, Scott. You would.
Looks like you've met this IPC worker before.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
Would the dialogue change if I didn't do that event?
I was sent here to deal with the IPC protests, Miss Shikwe. What's going on here? As you know, this IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin and rescued by the Juming's diplomatic ship. Then the Cloud Knights were instructed to bring it back to the dock for repairs and inspections. And this is Mr. Scott, the person in charge of this transport ship.
So, you're Scott. I've heard her mention you. Weren't you kicked off the Luofu before? Why did you come back?
March is definitely that friend that goes, oh, this is the guy you're talking about? This is him? You know? This guy?
Like I wanted.
And that's the friend you need, by the way.
I thought I'd just dock at the harbor for repairs and leave this forsaken place for good. Little did I know, as soon as the ship entered the harbor, a bunch of Cloud Knights showed up and snatched all our cargo from the hold.
I think there is something to say that you could say like the Xianzhou is very overprotective and very like, you know, particular about like what gets into the Xianzhou and stuff, I guess too. You could say that. You could argue that. But I just think that like it's one of those situations that like in this case, in this time around, you could, you know, I think the argument the IPC will make is like, well, actually, we just like didn't want to come here. We got into a bit of trouble. So there's not what we could do about that. But you know what I mean? I think it's one of those situations where like, it's like, maybe I'm not looking at totally from the IPC's perspective. Maybe I'm looking at from a very unfair perspective, but I see like my perspective is like, if you just let them check out the cargo and be on your way, you know?
What do you mean by snatched? I've told you 1,000,000 times. It's a security check.
Then why did you bring the cargo to the Artisanship Commission? You even brought in some shady craftsmen. It's obvious you're trying to steal the IPC's patented technology.
And this is his fear. This is the fear he has, is that like someone's gonna take this stuff of him.
Listen here. Firstly, the Skyfaring Commission detected dangerous
Love his hair, by the way.
that could possibly
Genuinely.
be weapons in your cargo hold. That's why they called me here, to double check.
He's so frustrated with him.
Where the heck did you get the idea that I'm a shady craftsman?
Oh my god, this is the shady craftsman? This? He looks like a reputable businessman. He looks like a reputable dude. But of course it's Scott. Like, I feel like Scott would see a dog and be like, what's this monster?
Even if there are dangerous items, what do they have to do with you? It's not even being shipped to the Luofu. We'll just fix the ship and be on our way. We
That's-
won't
yeah.
unload our cargo here.
That's the argument that the IPC are going to use. And again, it's not like a terrible argument to be like, this isn't even for your place. Like, we're just leaving. We're going to leave here. We're not even going to leave anything here. But I guess like the Xianzhou is also, as we said, very careful with that stuff, 100%.
You'll have to stay in the port for several days before your ship
That's
is
a good
repaired
argument.
and you can take off again. How can we just leave unchecked items sitting here?
I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. I don't know what I mean. And again, I'm not trying to just side with like the authority being like, let's check your stuff. Again, like I said, know your rights, everybody. But like I still also like think that like in this situation, it's like, yeah, if they have to stay here for days, then like I'd also like to check the IPC's, you know, luggage out, just in case.
I understand, but we don't need to disassemble the cargo if it's just a security check.
No, right? Yeah, of course not. Yeah, that thing I don't think so. You don't have to do that. Yeah.
In most cases, we don't. However, our scans discovered that the cargo doesn't only contain machinery, but also some substance that resembles biological tissue.
That's a bit weird.
Biological tissue? Does this crate contain living things?
That's very weird.
I'm afraid we'll need to wait for the Alchemy Commission for further confirmation. In any case, according to our regulations, we need to unseal one of the crates for further examination. But this IPC specialist has been hindering us on the grounds of patent secrecy.
See, this is what their argument is going to be. Is like, it's like, yes, you know, it's a patent, it's copyright. We don't want you stealing the idea or stealing the machine itself. We never delivered it here. It's not for here, so you have nothing to do with it. These are all the arguments on that side. The argument on Kongjin's side is like the idea, well, actually, like, you're staying here for a few days, so we obviously have to, like, be able to, like, you know, check this out. We found this organic material within all this machine stuff, so it's very weird. So, like, we're very worried about that stuff, too. So there is, like, I feel like there's, like, a good, like, I'm not saying the IPC argument's right, by the way. I'm saying that that's the argument they would use, but I feel like it is, like, you know, that's why there's such a stalemate here.
The Alliance's regulations on biological products are very strict. Without further inspection, there is no way for the Skyfaring Commission to release the cargo.
Oh, really? Fine. If anyone lays a finger on that shipment, they'll have me to deal with.
Oh, no.
It doesn't matter if it's mechanical or biological. It's none of your business. I'm filing a complaint against the Skyfaring Commission's ridiculous regulations.
I feel like Scott would file a complaint like against a door if he like hurt his toe.
This Mr. Scott seems stubborn and difficult to persuade.
Yes.
Honestly, I really don't want to have a vicious confrontation with the IPC.
What? You're 110%. We know a thing or two about convincing Scott. Leave it to me. I'm an expert negotiator. 100%. He's so correct in this way too, because this is what the general clearly wants, is for him to figure out how to navigate this, right? 100%. And also, we know what it's like to not want to make enemies of the IBC, because they are valuable allies, even though we don't agree with them, even though we don't like them, even though we love some of them. You know, Aventry and Tobaz I'm really cool with, but it's one of those situations where it's legitimately even if look at Don Hung's eyes is down at Yanqing's ponytail. He's if I just cut this off, he looks like he's having those thoughts where it's I could just cut this right out. But it's one of those situations where even if we don't agree with them, Himiko knows this too. The general knows this too. Making enemies of the IPC, not always the best idea. You know what I mean?
I heard how you helped Aramali. The IPC representative back then was Mr. Scott, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since you've dealt with him before, it looks like I'll have to rely on you again.
No problem.
What are you guys whispering about over there? Just hurry up and give us back our cargo.
No problem whatsoever. So we're gonna have to talk to Scott as well. I know there's some big fans of Scott in the audience, by the way. Which, by the way, even though I'm not huge on Scott, no problem whatsoever. I want to make that clear. We all like different characters that other people are not gonna like sometimes. You know what I mean? It happens. Yeah, let's talk to Scott. Wait, what? We're doing the negotiation. So, okay, at the end of the negotiation, if your morale is higher than or equal to your opponents, it's considered a successful negotiation. Otherwise, it's deemed a failure. During the negotiation process, if either party's morale drops to 0, the negotiation immediately ends. So we have to make it, okay, so it's you have to make it higher, but also make sure that so ideally it'd be equal. Okay. Your negotiation choices will lead to different outcomes, which can further increase or decrease your morale. And as you make choices, negotiation progresses until the number of negotiation rounds drops to 0, at which point negotiation ends. Okay. During your negotiation turn, you can use negotiation strategies to apply various negotiation techniques to help you succeed. Okay, this is pretty cool. Really, really cool. Here you can give your opponent's information if you're unsure about what to choose. Okay. Totally cool with that. That's actually awesome. This is really cool. Let's go for it. Oh, look at the UI.
As I recall, this guy won't listen to reason and can only be persuaded with intimidation.
Bark like a dog!
But he does seem to follow rules to some extent. Let's use that against him.
Sure, that makes sense.
Speaking of regulations, we have our own laws and regulations too. According to Article 4 of the Xianzhou Alliance IPC Trade Consensus, the Alliance and IPC shall never infringe on each other's intellectual property rights.
Oh, so yeah, because he is using it as a patent issue, right? So let's see. Make proposals for a legal perspective. Start making him feel uncomfortable. Use Yanqing's identity to intimidate him. Remind him of his embarrassing past. Maybe we'll take a legal perspective first.
The Alliance can sign a non-disclosure agreement with you. That way you won't have to worry about any infringements.
But that made his morale go down.
We can sign a mutually acceptable non-disclosure agreement in accordance with the IPC's rules.
Well, that makes sense, but how can we trust you to honor
See,
the
you have to last the 4 rounds while not having less morale than Scott, but also at the same time too not having his morale go out completely. His eyes are pretty, by the way. You can see him under the glasses. There's a bit of eyeliner going on there.
Even if we set aside the secrecy of intellectual property, these prototypes built by the Intelligentsia Guild are incredibly valuable, beyond your wildest imagination.
I can imagine.
If anything goes wrong, you won't be able to pay for it even with your life.
I know Dr. Ratio. Just skip the reasoning part and resort to good old violence. Assured him that you will pursue caution, pay your compensation you wish. The Skyfront Commission can pay compensation. So if you go to negotiation strategy, you can double the result of this round's negotiations, skip this round of negotiations, or return to the previous round. Oh, okay, interesting. Should we double the results? But that might make them get angrier, right? No, we don't do that just yet. So let's they can pay compensation.
Can you give us an exact amount, Mr. Scott?
Oh, this could be
if
trouble.
Any damage after the inspection, the Express, I mean, the
that was bad.
Skyfaring Commission.
We shouldn't have said this on their behalf. We should not have said this on their behalf.
The Skyfaring Commission. Yeah, they will compensate you.
Okay.
Provided a detailed report of the damage is submitted.
That's good. We didn't do too bad with that.
I don't doubt the financial strength of the Skyfaring Commission. However, this is not just about money. Besides, the cargo on this transport vessel belongs to the Intelligentsia Guild. If you want to inspect the cargo, shouldn't you at least call in a member of the Intelligentsia Guild to be present?
How do we get him to, like... to get his morale up as well, because we can't have it go down, right? Escalate the issue of some of your extensive connections?
Since the Intelligentsia Guild entrusted the cargo to the IPC for transportation, it's the IPC's responsibility to ensure its safety, right? Why would you need a member of the Intelligentsia Guild to be present?
So we didn't knock down morale here?
Let me tell you something. As stated in Article 17 of the IPC's Building Materials
This is a fun little minigame.
Department Transport Agreement Law, subsequent to the dispatch of goods and during their transit, all risks, save for those pertaining to the transportation safety, shall be the sole liability of the consignor.
Okay.
Well, only protect the integrity of the goods and prevent anyone with
Oh,
ill
no, still.
intentions from getting their hands on them, for example.
No, this is good. I want him to have a bit of morale. 100%. I want him to feel like he's, he's doing good.
As for whether the cargo itself poses a security threat to the destination, that's not our responsibility. It appears we have reached an area beyond your expertise, doesn't it? The complexity of legal studies are indeed challenging.
Oh my god, he loves getting a win, doesn't he? He loves it.
We both need to follow the regulations, because that's how the IPC and the Cienzhou operate, right? As an IPC worker, I have to abide by its regulations. If I make an exception and allow you to inspect the cargo, it'll spell disaster for me.
So do I get to just, like, skip this one? I kind of, like, can I just do this and just skip it?
All right. We understand your position, but rules are rules.
Okay, cool.
And we can't
So we
bend
got
them
this.
However, we'll note down your concerns and pass them on to management. We'll keep you updated on any developments.
That's pretty good, Stel. There we go. Awesome. Awesome. Stel. Yeah, she rummages through trash.
How to argue your case?
Yeah, she's a gremlin, right? But when it comes to debating Scott, she does a really good job. Here's the thing. Well, I want to say to Scott fans, I can totally see why people think he's really cute, right? He has the cool glasses. He has the eyeliner. You know, he has the cool hair, right? I totally get it, right? But it's also like he's just like very, very like irritating to me.
Fine. I'll allow you to do the security inspection.
Perfect.
Just that I need some time to sort things out. This is a big deal. Let me talk to headquarters first.
That's fair.
So, Mr. Scott, are you just stalling for time and planning to leave the Cienzhou as soon as your ship is repaired? To avoid the Skyfaring
Oh my
Commission's
god. So smart, Yanqing, because I didn't even think of that. Yeah, if he stalls for time until he gets word back from the IPC, he'll just leave.
Well, IPC staff are free to come and go, as long as they don't break any laws.
Who's this?
Yeah, you've got some insight there. Who are you again?
Who is this? Who's this?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lingsha, Cauldron Master and head of the Alchemy
Whoa!
on the Luofu.
So this is what they talked about they talked about her area, right? The alchemist? First of all, like, she has this, like, interesting, like, pattern on her legs and her hands as well. Are they gloves, or do you think it's actually, like, part of her skin? Her hair is stunning. What a cool hairstyle. Like, I love the fringe, I love the bangs. And then she has, like a deep, like, black outfit, like, with the gold trim, which is also a really interesting idea as well. It's more like kind of a smoky gray, though, at times, too. Sorry, I'm just already focused on the design. I love character design so much. And she also seems to be long-life species as well. This is so interesting. Because we just talked about her before, right?
Could she be?
Is that her?
Yeah, she's the new Cauldron Master assigned here from the Cienzhou Zhuming.
I adore her hairstyle. And then the way they have like the two other sides hanging down as well. It's a really pretty hairstyle.
I received a report from the Artisanship Commission about cargo containing samples of unknown organisms. It said they needed help from the Alchemy Commission. I had nothing better to do, so I came myself.
The white, black, darker gray, gold trim like mixed with like the contrast. I know what it is. Like that's such a cool. They do color combinations so well in this game.
It's fine, Mr. Scott. If you really don't want your cargo to be inspected, it doesn't matter.
Is she undermining us a little bit here?
It doesn't matter? How can you say that?
Yeah, this is very, very tense here.
Why are you being so nice all of a sudden? Well, since you're not going to check it, I'll take this crate and be on my way. Is that okay with everyone?
Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, sure. Why should I object? Not only this sample, but all the goods on the transport ship are yours to keep. Like I said, we won't inspect them.
What's the game here? Is there a game here?
Wait a minute.
Again, we just went through all this effort as well. She's a very... Oh, is that a snake on her arm, actually? Oh, it's like scales? Is that like a snake? I'm sorry, I'm so like... always mesmerized by characters and designs as well. Oh, she said don't. She said don't. She has something planned. Okay, she has something planned.
Well, that's more like it. If only the young displayed a more reasonable attitude, we could have sidestepped that.
Oh, but she has something planned. What does she have planned?
Our ship will leave in a few days once the engines are repaired.
Your ship can leave whenever you want, but I'm afraid I can't say the same for your cargo.
Wait, what? She's gonna keep the cargo?
According to the import and export regulation signed between the Xianzhou and IPC, all biological shipments can only leave the port when they have confirmed to be of no
Yeah, okay.
threat, or when all biological activity expires.
Do you think she's legit just gonna be like, hey, yeah, go on with yourself, but we're keeping it? That's what she's gonna say.
Since we can't determine if your shipment is
Well, she
safe
already
for the
said that,
environment,
technically.
I guess we'll have to wait for its biological activity to expire. Let me check the previous case.
Wait, she's like literally the biological aspects of it to have to die, and then you can have it back. And she's just very being straightforward with this as well.
Normally, it'll only take around 47 star calendar years.
I actually like her a lot. I like her a lot already. I do.
Only 47
Only
years?
47.
Why so surprised? You're still young and
Oh
full
my
of
god.
energy. I'm pretty sure you'll live a few more decades. Have some confidence
Oh
in
my
yourself.
god. Okay, she's actually hilarious. Then she does like the freaking like sea paralysis. Was it paralysis demon as well? With a big smile. You guys know I love a snarky character. You like guys, I love a sharp character. I love a biting character. As you said, earlier, we love that type of stuff. This is hilarious. Buddy, you're gonna live 50 years. Come on, have some more confidence in yourself.
Ha, typical of a long-life species. Your words are dripped
Hey.
with sarcasm. While you may not care about time, I do. I'll be demanding double compensation from the Skyfaring Commission for every minute wasted.
Don't be talking about long life species like that.
Sure thing, Mr. Scott. You seem pretty confident that your career and life
Oh, dear
were
Lord.
small enough to witness this victory unfold.
I love her. I think she's incredible. She came in here, and it looks like she was like giving him everything, but she actually just is basically like emotionally destroying this man right in front of us. Look at his eyebrows.
Step aside, guys. Let them do the
Oh my
inspection.
god. She basically said, you will not have a job. This will stay here for 50 years. Buddy, don't worry, I'm sure you'll live 50 years. Oh, by the way, you won't have a job. Do you think you're still going to have a job? Because she's right. If he goes back empty-handed without anything, and like this stuff is left here on the Xianzhou Luofu, you know what I mean? They follow the regulations of the Xianzhou, so it's not like they did anything illegal. So it's one of those situations where, like, Scott will take the brunt of it. And Scott knows this.
But, Mr. Scott...
Mr. Scott got owned. He got owned.
Come on, we're already in enough trouble. Just let them do the security inspection. And if needed, I can always grovel before the Intelligentsia Guild later.
Oh my god.
I'm just using my head for what it's apparently good for, right?
I suppose so. Sorry for the trouble. Thanks, bro. At least say thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. With a little smile.
Honestly, at least you're not as annoying as that woman.
Which woman? Ling Sha? Ling Sha's my best friend.
Bro, just do the inspection.
Bro. You better not be talking about March. I know he didn't have any interaction with March, so it can't be March. You know what? Whoever you're talking about, Scott, let's stop, okay?
This lady is really something else.
She is. She came in and destroyed Scott. With like in no uncertain terms, he basically said, "Yeah, you can have it. You can have your ship back and you can leave. You know, but you will not. The cargo will die, and you will not have a job." And she said it in such a snarky, sarcastic way. Well, what the hell?
Is this the IPC product?
We're getting a cutscene for this?
Listen up. Any damages caused by inspections will be filed with the IPC.
Oh my god, the little knock. Oh god, what'd she find? Wait, so it's like a...
Turn it off.
Oh, look at Yanqing. He stepped right in front of her as well. That's a true cloud. What is... She did have a look of fear and shock on her face too, right? But she was ready too. Terror grip? When allies inflict with terror grip, attacking caster with terror grip can once dispel terror grip. When terror grip ends, the caster's in terror grip is not attacked to dispel terror grip. The infected ally will fall into a terrified state and will be only perform actions. Wait, what? So you have to attack the guy who gave us terror grip?
Oh, how unexpected. That was a surprise.
What are you waiting for?
Honestly, I love the animation there, and I love the character who like is so biting and so like seems so sure of herself, but also had her like have a little bit of fear in her eyes as she saw this thing here. Love Yanqing stepping in front as well. True Cloud Knight.
I charge extra.
Speaking of Cloud Knight, I wonder if we're gonna see Sushang. Man, it's so like it feels. I know it's only been like a few. It's not even that long, but like, it feels like that long. But seeing the ambrosial arbor in the background like brings back a lot of memories, you know. For sure.
Stand still. Time to say
You should say
bye.
boom.
Boom.
What was that terror thing you were gonna do? What was that thing you were gonna do? The terror thing?
Were you seriously planning to leave this stuff unchecked at the dock for days?
Yeah, it would have been very dangerous.
Way too dangerous.
Yeah.
I had no idea about it. You must have accidentally triggered the cargo's defense program.
She just knocked it on the leg.
I don't think trying to shift the blame is a wise choice.
Oh my god. We love serious Dan Heng.
But seriously, I don't know why that thing suddenly started moving. I swear on the Amber Lord.
He's like a cartoon character. He really is. He's like a Billy and Mandy character.
Enough. Miss Shikwe, please escort our IPC guests to the Skyfaring Commission.
There we go.
I'm on it. Please follow me, Mr. Scott.
I love Shigue's attitude. She's always like, if I have to, you know? I feel like they would have been less suspicious if the IPC let the inspection happen right away, right? 100%.
Our preliminary inspection shows that there is indeed hidden biological tissues inside. Just like the craftsman
That's kind of terrifying. That means there's like some real life living components inside that machine.
I can't even tell if it's ingenium or biological in nature.
Why do you say that?
The core of this device is what they call wetware in industry slang. To put it simply, this machine operates with a kind of biological nerve as its control center.
Wetware, okay. That's still pretty terrifying. Yeah, makes you feel a bit weird.
I'll take
bit
some
icky.
samples for the alchemist to analyze and figure out where the biological tissue comes from.
I adore her. I adore her voice actor. I adore her design. I adore her attitude. I think she's great.
Why would the Intelligentsia Guild use such unethical technology? Perhaps they're trying to create a new weapon?
That's pretty scary if that's what they're trying to do with this.
Whatever the reason is, it's probably why the Borisin attacked the ship.
To get this machine? Or they sense something, maybe?
No wonder the IPC were trying to obstruct our inspection. I'll contact the Ten Lords Commission and ask the judges to come and give their final verdict on this. According to our rules, all prisoners and weapons involving dangerous creatures must be taken to the shackling prison for further sentencing. After all, it's the safest place on the Luofu. As for you, Mr. Craftsman, please go with the Cloud Knights and explain the situation to the judge.
With Yanqing stepping up. After a while, everyone disperses and goes their own way.
I had a feeling that the IPC members would cause trouble, but I didn't think they'd be this tricky. Thanks for your help, Miss Lingsha.
The back of her hair is stunning as well, isn't it? It's really stunning.
I should thank you for saving my life.
She's
Your
so
sword
cool.
skills were impressive. Taking down that big guy.
100%. You see him standing in front of her like really quickly. Obviously, she had a weapon herself as well. She was like clearly like, you know, pretty tough herself. But I love it. Like instantly, they showed a character again. I love her design. Her hair is amazing. Her attitude's great. But like they had this character with such a powerful, strong attitude, and then, you know, instantly show that they're not like, you know, impervious or like they're not like, you know, without emotion. She had like a feared look on her face when she saw this creature.
I thought the General's retainers were all burly martial masters. I didn't expect Yanqing to be so...
Adorable, young, cute, miniature. Every one of these is going to probably upset him, but maybe young is like the least offensive to him. I would say cute because he is cute. I'm not going to say miniature. He is cute. We'll say young because it's like the least offensive, right, to him?
Yeah, exactly. He's young and talented.
I love Lingsha. Lingsha for president.
As for you, you must be the guests from the Astral Express, right? Saving the Luofu from that crisis. It's so impressive.
Oh my god, her voice actor's so good. There's like a tinge of like, is she being serious? Is she being genuine? But you also like, you know, like you want to hear what she's saying at the same time too, because she's such an interesting like inflection. But honestly, like I love her. Complimenting us, complimenting Yanqing, you know what I mean? Lingsha, want to join the Astral Express?
It wasn't a big deal. Really, it's still early. So why don't we get some tea at the Alchemy Commission? We can discuss your suggestions for revitalizing the commission.
Okay.
I'd be happy to accept your invitation.
What the general said, right? Making friends, right? You know, that's what he didn't say it directly, but that's what he was, you know, his idea, I guess.
And you three are coming too.
I'd love to go for tea for you, Lingsha. Langxing, what I'm saying, Lingsha. Such a great introduction to some characters here. Such a great introduction to Lingsha here as well. I adored that scene. I thought that the way they set it up was like a really, really cool way of like having like, you know, us like have this full on debate with Scott, but it not working out fully in the end, showcasing that he is like a really stubborn character. And like in the end, it was one of the situations where while like, you know, Yanqing did a really good job of trying to keep everything like in place, and we did, you know, I think a good job as well, of, or at least as good as possibly can be to keep it in place in terms of Stella as well. It's clear that Scott only responds to like humiliation sometimes and intimidation. It's very clear. It's very clear. So in this case with Lingsha, she was able to like, oh, look at it over there. Look at that. Lingsha was able to come in here, take action, and really like embarrass the heck out of Scott. And basically, like, as you said, no uncertain terms, she said, you will not have a job and you will be 50 years before you get this back. And it was without even threatening him. She threatened him. Like, let's be honest here. Without even threatening him, she said, you will have to go back to the IPC. This is the subtext. She basically said, you can get this in 50 years. Do you think you'll have a job by then? The subtext that is, you will go back to the IPC. You will tell them what happened. We will tell them it's 100% within regulations. And regardless if they get it back off us afterwards, you'll be fired. You're done. They're not going to deal with you again. You're donezo. I think that's like such an interesting way that she did that threat, which makes her like a very intriguing character because again, she has this inflection of a character who like seems like very pleasant, but at the same time too, there's like a tinge of like, is she being real with me? Is she? You know what I mean? Because there's like a really beautiful like attitude and snarkiness. I mean that in a good way. When I ever say snarkiness and attitude, like I think some people see it as a bad thing. For me, I love it. Like I love a snarky character. I love a character who can do a bit of a bite. You know what I mean? I love that. Because it's, you know, it's one of those things where like, you know, one of the reasons I like Dr. Ratio so much is because like he does like, you know, sometimes without even knowing it will like insult you and like, you know, it's very funny sometimes as well. Ema from Last Defense Academy is another perfect example of a character who's just like incredibly snarky, but I adore them. It's so funny. Like, you know what I mean? Because I think there's a difference between someone being like, you ugly piece of garbage, and you're like, oh dude, calm down, versus someone doing like a little like, I guess this is happening now, you know, and it's kind of really, really, you know, I didn't know that you could do that. I thought only like idiots could do that. There's something funnier about that, you know what I mean? Than there is. Obviously, it depends on who you're talking to, because of course, like, you know, you get snarky with March or Don Hung, it's over. But I really, really love the introduction of the character. Really great design. Love the black, white, red, and gold combination colors. They do combination colors really well here, but her hair is stunning. I love the bangs and the long hair at the back as well. Like a really, really, really cool character that they introduced here into this game as well. I actually like really, really like her quite a bit, honestly. Yeah, she's awesome. She's really cool. She's a really cool character. We'll talk about everything that happened here as well. So like, we're in the video here. We're gonna go to the Astral Express again. And we're going to talk about everything that's happened here in this episode as well. Honestly. We're going to talk about everything.
Nice.
So I think that this is kind of like one of the times that it feels like it's the start to like something bigger, I think, as well. I think we all could say that too when it comes to the, I guess, like the journey we're about to go on with the Xian show. First of all, I'm glad to be back. I think it's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy to be able to do this in Honkai Star Rail, to go back to different places and like have like a different, you know, time with the characters that we already know, and like getting to know new characters as well is a super fun thing as well. So yeah, I'm really happy to be back here. It's really cool. There's something bubbling here for sure. There's something bigger happening here. And what we have so far is, first of all, we got introduced once again to the Xianzhou characters. It was really fun to see them. We had the invitation from the general, which again kind of sidetracked us, which I think was one of the best ways to get sidetracked, is to have the general be like, hey, like, you know, do you want to come and hang out? Not hang out here, you know what I mean? But like, do you want to come up here and to the war dance? And whilst I think that, like, you know, it seems like he probably, again, my interpretation, it could be wrong. I think it might be a bit of both though, but like, I think, you know, he definitely did want us to come here because he obviously does care about us a lot, and he does value us quite a bit. But I think at the same time too, he's also a character who understands that like if something is about to happen on the Xian show, and you know there's something going down, or if there's something lingering that's about to happen, like we've seen here, then there's the possibility that, you know, having the Astro Express here is probably the best option for you. And I don't think it's stupid at all. I don't think it's like it doesn't make me feel, even if that was the case and that's the only reason he brought us here, it doesn't make me feel used. It's just smart. It's really smart, the idea of like, hey, come down here, please, like be around here when stuff is happening. But yeah, once we got to the Xian show, we were greeted with Yanqing. We also met some characters looking for some tourism stuff. I don't know if that's going to come back later, but like they did talk to us about, I directed them towards Oramali, but there's something there. There has to be something there to do with that. We're just like, you know, getting to know Yanqing again, like getting to like, you know, get acquainted with him. He was kind of like, you know, giving directives around the place too, or like telling us he was going to give us a little tour around the place also at the same time also. And we got attacked by like these interesting wolf creatures, which why did they call it Bonseer? Again, I'm always like terrible with names in the first video when we get here. So like, it's like, well, you know what they're called. I can put it in later, you know what I mean? But those wolf creatures attacked us, and they're like creatures of the, like abominations of the abundance as well. But the reason why it was so weird is because they attacked so close to the Xian show when there were so many people here, like they didn't give a damn whatsoever. But they attacked the IPC ship so close to here, which then meant the IPC ship had to land here, which again is like a, you know, terrible circumstance for them because they had to like, you know, go through a whole rigmarole when it came to like getting their stuff back. But the suspicion there is like, why would these abundance abominations attack the Xian show, especially at this time? Now, the explanation of the IPC and the, not the IPC, but the other members who kind of like brought who like docked here, wasn't the other people of the Luofu who docked here? They said that it's because everything's so busy right now that they had to dock here. But I just think in general, it's an interesting idea. Like, why did they attack at this time? Why did they attack the IPC? The suspicion later on was it had to do with that organism or that material that they had within that machine that's keeping the whole thing pumping. But it's hard to know exactly like why they would have attacked at that time as well. There's also the idea as well here with Yun Li, who's such an interesting character, like right away, by the way. Such an interesting character. She does these really cool moves, helps us fight these wolves, these werewolves, and then does like this like mid-air move where she's able to grab like, you know, she's able to grab Yanqing's sword and run off with it in the most nonchalant way possible. She seemed like some sort of like crazy action hero, and she's also like very little and adorable too. You know what I mean? So there's like that there also. And again, like these introductions to characters in Honkai Star Rail are always done so well. They understand that like, you know, you only get one introduction, and even if it can be something small, it's still something that like is you know, very well done. I always feel like after I get introduced to a character in Honkai Star Rail, whether they're a good character or a bad character, they always leave an impression. Even if it's only like a tiny impression, it's still something that when I meet them later on, I'm like, oh, that character, right? Like a perfect example here is Scott. Like I know Scott had a big impression, but you know what I mean? Like Scott would like show up like months and months ago, but still when he showed up, it's like, oh my god, it's Scott. And that's the sign of like a really good character, in my opinion. Even if like I don't like him as a person, he's like, it's a sign of a really good character as well, in my opinion as well. But yeah, love this scene. Then we had all the arguments that we had then with the there was kind of the introduction with the Arbiter General of the Xumin, I'm not going to pronounce his name right as well, but it was like I'm always going to look really like Yawan? Is that pronounced Yaoyan? Really pretty name at the time, but obviously I'm always not great at pronouncing stuff. But you saw this like very interesting conversation between him and the general, but it more kind of showcased, I think, as well, the idea that there are like important people coming here for the war dance. And Dan Heng is speculating the idea that this could be that there's something else going on as it pertains to putting the blame on somebody for what happened with the Ambrosial Arbor. Because the one thing that still sticks out, like there's all this stuff happening here on the Xian show, like they've cleared up a lot of this stuff. There's not really much else that you can find like to do with the kind of like tragedy that happened. But the one thing that's left is the Ambrosial Arbor. So there is suspicion of why there's so many like important people here. There's a representative of the Yanqing here as well. There's like one of the head alchemists showing up here also at the same time too. There's so many people converging on one spot, which like, you know, and usually if it's like a festival, it can be like a very good thing that's happening. But now Dan Heng is saying that this could be like something that could be way more serious that's going on. We had the introduction of Xiaowen and also Yunli. As I said, Yunli has a very like cute character design, but I love the interaction between Yunli and Yanqing. It's like this bickering nature between the two of them. They have such contrasting personalities and they both go about things in very different ways. I think Yanqing is always the type of character that's always going to try and like, you know, do things, I guess, like by the book as much as possible. He makes mistakes sometimes, but he tries to be polite. But in turn, that didn't gain him any respect from someone who like is very traditional in a way, Yunli, who also has a little bit of like a kind of like a. And we talk about the idea of a character with a bite. We love a character with a bite, and in this case, she was just like literally just like this dude. I thought sword people were supposed to be better, even though Yanqing is an amazing swords master and swordsman. From Yunli's perspective, it's like the sword doesn't even respect him, which is such an interesting idea as well, the idea of a sword respecting. But I think it makes sense as well, like the idea of like if you drop your sword in the battlefield, that's an extension of yourself. At least that's what they would say like in most sword fighting, you know, disciplines. Like, so she sees him as like not as worthy. But now she's kind of like saying, look, I'll give it back if he says please and thank you. Which again, I cannot wait to see like more interactions between the two of them. Because it's so rare to see Yanqing like be so like, you know, trying his best to keep things together while also like biting his teeth as he's talking to this character. So that's gonna be an interesting dynamic between the two of them, which I hope they will end up friends. I think they have the seeds for growth and becoming friends too. It also was a really fun scene because Yaowen and the general both showcased like, I think like, you know, how they kind of like treat each of their like little ones, where they kind of like are trying to teach them about the world in a way, whereas like, you know, from you know, the general's perspective and both the Yahweh's perspective, they both have like a little bit to learn still, whether that be like the communication aspects, whether it be making friends, whether that's like, you know, broadening your horizons when it comes to Yunli. I do love that we saw that there as well, because it showcases that while we're not around, there's still the general trying his best to get Yanqing into like a place where he can be like, you know, the best person he can be. And while that can be frustrating for Yanqing sometimes, as he said, you know, it feels like sometimes I'm not fully equipped for this stuff. I think he is the best person teaching him, and Yunli also clearly has someone who is like a really good mentor in her corner at the same time too. But I loved that scene. I loved the sequence that went on here too. Yaowen claimed that he didn't know what was going on with like he was just here to help his granddaughter. Dan Heng seems to seem like it's maybe not that, you know what I mean? Maybe not is completely that as well. But like he claims that's what it is, but he doesn't know why the representative of the Yanqing have come here and why they have like gazed their eyes on them as well, right? Of course. They talk about the idea of like the military leader being like the Merlin's Claw. Was it Fei Xiao being like the representative of them too? We also met Zhao Shu and Mose as well from the Yanqing as well. Again, another great introduction of characters at the same time too, with like these like really beautiful designs and really pretty designs. As I said, like I love seeing the new character designs in Honkai Star Rail. But they also like came here like kind of saying like, you know, yeah, our general isn't here right now. They're enjoying the sights, which I think they were saying that she was looking at the arbor, right? And it was kind of like a message, kind of like, hey, she's off doing like, you know what that means. You know maybe why she's here. And maybe that's why Dan Heng's suspicions are also like kind of like very founded when it comes to this stuff too, where it makes sense that he's looking for that stuff as well. Very, very cool scenes. Again, they're not heavy scenes in terms of like big stories, but they have like an underlying tension to them, but also a little bit of fun to them as well. I love the introduction of characters, love the bickering, love like the new characters as well. We met like Mo seems very serious. Zhao Shou to me seems like a character that's very open but also very mischievous, they seem as well. But I love their adorable style too. They seem very fanciful at the same time too. We're hearing about the idea of Merlin's Claw, which I actually can't wait to like see more of, or at least see them for the first time as well. I know like we're going a bit slow here, I'd say as well in terms of like but I like to talk about absolutely everything, so I'm never going to apologize for that as well. But yeah, that's what we're kind of getting right now. We had the scene with Ling Sha as well and Scott, and Ling Sha comes along and honestly like one of the best. I already talked about it already. I love her introduction, love the idea of this character who's like, again, so like sharp and like brutal, but does it in a way that doesn't even sound like they're being sharp and brutal. And that's a sign of like, to me, like a really good, like, I don't know what you'd say, like maybe not a good negotiator, but like someone who is like, you'd want on your side. Someone who is like really brutal, but doesn't even say it in a direct way. You know, there's so much subtext to the way they speak, and their inflection is so sweet that like it sounds very threatening, but at the same time too, you can't really fault it because they're not saying anything that's against the rules, right? She said to Scott basically like, hey, buddy, you won't have a job, and this thing will get destroyed itself in 50 years. You'll be in trouble, you know? And she said this without even saying that. So she threatened Scott without even threatening him, while staying within the regulations of the rules as well. Love her character design. I said I love the hair. The outfit has a really good color coding. Adore it. They've had so many great introductions of characters so far. We're back on the Xian show having like a good time here. I'm having a blast. I really am having a blast. I think what we got here is that there is like a mystery going on as to why everyone is showing up at the Xian show at this moment. Don Hung's theory seems pretty accurate, that there's maybe like something that they're trying to like, you know, pin on the general, hold him accountable for the tragedy that happened with the Stellaron and the stuff with the Arbor as well. And there's a reason why all of them are converging in one place. And I think that's what's so good about this so far. There's a tension brewing amongst everything. And now also we have this like machine with a human organism or like human matter inside of it, or like biological matter inside of it, which then also has the tension of like, will that come back up again? Is somebody going to want to use that? That's a terrifying prospect. Like, what is that? So there's all these like little things like bubbling. It's just an introduction, clearly just an introduction to the next place, or like not the next place, but this next mission. And I think next time we're going to go really deep into all this stuff too, because next episode will be definitely like much longer as well, I'd say, because we're going to be, I think right now we're at the bubbling tension stage where there's like a lot of introductions, a lot of fun stuff, but there's something happening underneath. We're getting like, you know, reuniting with characters like the General, which I love seeing, and Yanqing. We're also meeting new characters and understanding new personalities. But like I said, there's something happening here. There's something underneath all of this, and something is gonna start bubbling, and something is gonna go crazy going forward, I think, as well. I'm excited to see what. I really am excited to see what, because it could be anything. And usually in games like this, it could be something that we know for sure is happening, like Don Hung said, or there could be something even more behind that as well, in terms of a mystery. All I know is I can't wait to see more of Ling Sha. I can't wait to meet the Merlin's Claw. I can't wait to get to know the characters of the Yaoxing and the Shumin more as well. Like, it's so cool that we got to do the Xian show, and now we're coming back to the Xian show, and there's like a whole host of new characters, and they're expanding upon the world and the lore and the story, which again makes these worlds feel so lived in. And I think that's what's so good about like Honkai Star Rail so far, is that, and it doesn't all happen all the time, but like, you know, having like Sampo turn up in Penacony, right? That's a big deal for me. Having like, you know, a character like Topaz goes back to Balabog. That's to me is also like a very, very cool thing. Having like, you know, right now us going back to the Xian show and like meeting up with all these characters, but having Scott on the Xian show once again, having Penacony people visiting the Xian show also, all this stuff makes the world feel so lived in and alive. I think one of the worst things you could do is have like a world where like there's no like travel, there's no like really natural like interactions. And when I say natural interactions, it feels like very natural to have all these characters in different places, because no one stays static in one place forever. And seeing all these characters like travel to different worlds, interact with different people, showcases that this is a world that is living and breathing, that you can travel across, that you can go to different places, you're not just stuck in your own cage. Really cool stuff. I really, really love this idea. And I love the premise of this too. Like, the idea of a war dance like makes perfect sense. Like, why wouldn't you create something that puts everyone's mind at ease, that makes everyone feel pretty, you know, like things are much better, especially since you have people probably still worried that they're looking out at the Arbor. There's people looking out at the Arbor right now and probably like, oh my God, like what's, you know, what if it happens again? What if all the stuff that was happening before happens again? And not everyone knows about it, of course, but there is like a situation where like there's fears there. There's going to be fears there. But I think, you know, it's going to put people's mind at ease to have the Astral Express here. Hopefully Ling Sha will be like a character who like we can like, you know, make friends with too. And hopefully the rest of the characters in Shumin will also be great too. Overall, I've loved this little introduction. It's really like, you know, very brief stuff here, but it was very cool to see new characters, meet new people, see new designs. Yeah, I enjoyed this quite a bit, and we're only going to get deeper into this as we go on. Yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen with the story, but I think it's one of those things, like, when it comes to all the characters coming here, all the important people coming here at one time, I do love how, as I said, like, it does feel like it is, like, something big is going to happen. It does feel that way. But also, at the same time, too, I have such faith in Honkai Star Rail to make this work, because they do faction drama, faction conflict, religious conflict, social conflict. I think they do it in such a good way that you will pick a side sometimes, and we have in the past, but there's always going to be a situation as well where we're going to look at this and, like, it's going to be so interesting. The details are going to be so messy, but, like, messy in a good way. I mean, messy in, like, a way where, like, it's very good dramatic-wise and writing-wise, but it's going to be, like, very, very... It's going to get darker before it gets brighter in situations like this sometimes. And it's not always just, like, darker, but, like, it's going to get to a situation where there is going to be, like, conflict, and Honkai Star Rail does that so well. As we said, like, we saw it on penacony, there was so much, like, religious and I say religious is probably the best way to put it, like a religious conflict. I think there's like political conflict is done so well on the Xian show, like in such a fantastic way. Social conflict is done like in such a really, really well done way on Belobog, and again, it's one of those situations where every single time, whether it be Xian show, Belobog, penacony, we've always come away from it being like, yeah, that was really well written, but intentionally so, like, parts of it was like frustrating, and parts of it like made you want to like shake someone and be like, stop doing that, and that's what they do in this game. They're really, really good at doing that, and I have so much faith. And I love that the trio's back together. The trio being together, and given such faith by Welt and Himiko to come down here and like sort this out. It really feels amazing. Like, this is what I've wanted for a while, is just the trio walking together, hanging out together. Now that I said this, I know next episode Dan Hong's gonna be like, I left the kettle on. I'll be back in like 3 chapters. It's like, no, Danhong, no, please, no. I'll be back soon. No, Danhong, don't do it. No on my luck anyway. But yeah, I think this is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Thank you guys for supporting me. As always, thank you guys for like being so understanding with the break last week, 100%. And with that, I want to say thank you so much to my patrons at the highest tier and my YouTube members at the highest tier, which you can check out down below as well, which is going to be really cool if you can. Only if you can. I want to thank you to Tyfire2, JB Bull, Janet Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yuled, Radish, Anusta, Lynx Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Heck, Leon, High Kasperian, Peter Shelson, Leon. Did I say Leon? I said Leon. Sorry. Okay, let's do it again. Tyfire2, JB Bull, Janet Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yuled, Radish, Anusta, Lynx Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Jared Bienum, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, World Gamer 7, Blasco, and Lucinagi, and I'll see you all so soon. Bye-bye.
Store.